drama on 3. Douglas Henshall, Anastasia Hilly and Ben Miles star in a new production of William Shakespeare's The Tragedy of King Richard III.
Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by this sun of York, and all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarums changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front, and now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber to the lascivious pleasing of a lute. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking-glass, I, that am rudely stamped, and want love's majesty to strut before a wanton ambling nymph. I, that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world, scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. Why, I, in this weak piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, unless to spy my shadow in the sun and descant on mine own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these fair well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous, by drunken prophecies, libels, and dreams, to set my brother Clarence and the king in deadly hate the one against the other. And if King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, this day should Clarence closely be mewed up about a prophecy which says that G of Edward's heirs the murderer shall be. Dive thoughts down to my soul. Here Clarence comes.
Brother, good day. What means this armoured guard that waits upon your grace?
His Majesty, tendering my person's safety, hath appointed this conduct to convey me to the Tower.
Upon what cause?
Because my name is George.
Alack, my lord, that fault is none of yours. He should for that commit your godfathers. Though belike his majesty have some intent that you shall be new christened in the Tower.
Huh.
But what's the matter, Clarence? May I know?
My lord.
Yea, Richard, when I know, for I protest as yet I do not. But as I can learn, he hearkens after prophecies and dreams, and from the crossrow plucks the letter G, and says, a wizard told him that by G his issue disinherited should be, and for my name of George begins with G, it follows in his thought that I am he. These, as I learn, and such like toys as these, have moved his highness to commit me now.
Why, this it is when men are ruled by women. 'Tis not the king that sends you to the Tower. My Lady Grey, his wife, Clarence, 'tis she that tempts him to this extremity. Was it not she and that good man of worship, Anthony Woodville, her brother there, that made him send Lord Hastings to the Tower, from whence this present day he is delivered? We are not safe, Clarence. We are not safe.
By heaven, I think there's no man is secure but the Queen's kindred and night-walking heralds that trudge betwixt the king and Mistress Shaw.
I beseech your graces both to pardon me. His Majesty hath straitly given in charge that no man shall have private conference of what degree soever with his brother.
Even so? And please your worship, Brackenbury, you may partake of anything we say. We speak no treason, man. We say the king is wise and virtuous, and his noble queen, well struck in years, fair and not jealous. We say that Shaw's wife had a pretty foot, a cherry lip, a bonny eye, passing pleasing tongue, and that the queen's kindred are made gentle folks. How say you, sir? Can you deny all this?
With this, my lord, myself have naught to do.
Naught to do with Mistress Shaw. I tell thee, fellow, he that doth naught with her excepting one, were best he do it secretly alone.
What one, my lord?
Her husband, knave. Wouldst thou betray me?
I beseech your grace to pardon me withal. Forbear your conference with the noble duke.
We know thy charge, Brackenbury, and will obey.
We are the queen's abjects and must obey. Brother, farewell. I will unto the king, and whatsoever you will employ me in, were it to call King Edward's widow's sister, I will perform it to enfranchise you. Meantime, this deep disgrace in brotherhood touches me deeper than you can imagine.
I know it pleaseth neither of us well.
But your imprisonment shall not be long. I will deliver you or else lie for you. Meantime, have patience.
I must perforce. Farewell.
Go tread the path that thou shalt ne'er return. Simple, plain Clarence. I do love thee so that I will shortly send thy soul to heaven, if heaven will take the present at our hands. Who comes here? The new delivered Hastings.
Good time of day unto my gracious lord.
As much unto my good lord Chamberlain. Well are you welcome to the open air. How hath your lordship brooked imprisonment?
With patience, noble lord, as prisoners must. But I shall live, my lord, to give them thanks that were the cause of my imprisonment.
No doubt, no doubt. And so shall Clarence, too. For they that were your enemies are his, and have prevailed as much on him as you.
More pity that the eagle should be mewed while kites and buzzards prey at liberty.
What news abroad?
No news so bad abroad as this at home. The king is sickly, weak and melancholy, and his physicians fear him mightily.
Now, by St. Paul, this news is bad indeed. Oh, he hath kept an evil diet long, and overmuch consumed his royal person. 'Tis very grievous to be thought upon. What is he, in his bed?
He is.
Go you before, and I will follow you.
My lord.
He cannot live. I hope. And must not die till George be packed with post-haste up to heaven. I'll in to urge his hatred more to Clarence, with lies well steeled with weighty arguments, and if I fail not in my deep intent, Clarence hath not another day to live. Which done, God take King Edward to his mercy, and leave the world for me to bustle in. For then I'll marry Warwick's youngest daughter. What though I killed her husband and her father? The readiest way to make the wench amends is to become her husband and her father. The which will I. Not all so much for love as for another secret close intent by marrying her which I must reach unto. But yet I run before my horse to market. Clarence still breathes, Edward still lives and reigns. When they are gone, then must I count my gains.
Set down your honourable load, if honour may be shrouded in a hearse, whilst I awhile obsequiously lament the untimely fall of virtuous Lancaster. Poor key-cold figure of a holy king, pale ashes of the house of Lancaster, thou bloodless remnant of that royal blood. Be it lawful that I invocate thy ghost to hear the lamentations of poor Anne, wife to thy Edward, to thy slaughtered son, stabbed by the selfsame hand that made these wounds. Lo, In these windows that let forth thy life, I pour the helpless balm of my poor eyes. Cursed be the hand that made these fatal holes. Cursed be the heart that had the heart to do it. Cursed the blood that let this blood from hence. More direful appetite that hated wretch, that makes us wretched by the death of thee, than I can wish to adders, spiders, toads, or any creeping venomed thing that lives. If ever he have child, abortive be it. If ever he have wife, let her be made as miserable by the death of him as I am made by my poor lord and thee. Come now, towards Chertsey with your holy load, taken from Paul's to be interred there.
Stay you that bear the cross and set it down.
What black magician conjures up this fiend to stop devoted charitable deeds?
Villains, set down the cross, or by St. Paul I'll make a cross of him that disobeys.
My lord, stand back and let the coffin pass.
Unmannered dog, stand thou when I command. Advance thy halbert higher than my breast, or by St. Paul I'll strike thee to my foot and spurn upon thee, beggar, for thy boldness.
What? Do you tremble? Are you all afraid? Alas, I blame you not, for you are mortal, and mortal eyes cannot endure the devil. Avaunt, thou dreadful minister of hell. Thou hadst but power over his mortal body, his soul thou canst not have, therefore be gone.
Sweet saint, for charity, be not so cursed.
Foul devil, for God's sake hence and trouble us not. For thou hast made the happy earth thy hell, filled it with cursing cries and deep exclaims. If thou delight to view thy heinous deeds, behold this pattern of thy butcheries. Oh, gentlemen, see. See. Dead Henry's wounds open their congealed mouths and bleed afresh. Blush. Blush, thou lump of foul deformity. For 'tis thy presence that exhales this blood from cold and empty veins where no blood dwells. O God, which this blood madest, revenge his death. O earth, which this blood drinkst, revenge his death.
Lady, you know no rules of charity, which renders good for bad, blessings for curses.
Villain, thou knowest no law of God nor man, no beast so fierce but knows some touch of pity.
But I know none, and therefore am no beast.
Oh, wonderful when devils tell the truth!
More wonderful when angels are so angry. Vouchsafe, divine perfection of a woman, of these supposed evils, to give me leave by circumstance but to acquit myself.
Vouchsafe diffused infection of a man, for these known evils, but to give me leave by circumstance to curse thy cursed self.
I did not kill your husband.
Why, then he is alive.
Nay, he is dead, and slain by Edward's hand.
In thy foul throat thou liest. Queen Margaret saw thy murderous falchion smoking in his blood, the which thou once did bend against her breast, but that thy brothers beat aside the point.
I was provoked by her slanderous tongue, which laid their guilt upon my guiltless shoulders.
Thou wast provoked by thy bloody mind, which never dreamt on aught but butcheries. Didst thou not kill this king?
I grant ye, yea.
Dost grant me, hedgehog? Then God grant me too thou mayest be damned for that wicked deed. Oh, he was gentle, mild, and virtuous.
The fitter for the King of Heaven that hath him.
He is in heaven where thou shalt never come.
Let him thank me that holp to send him thither, for he was fitter for that place than earth.
And thou unfit for any place but hell.
Yes, one place else, if you will hear me name it.
Some dungeon.
Your bedchamber.
Ill rest betide the chamber where thou liest.
So will it, madam, till I lie with you.
I hope so.
I know so. But, gentle Lady Anne, To leave this keen encounter of our wits and fall somewhat into a slower method, is not the causer of the timeless deaths of these Plantagenets, Henry and Edward, as blameful as the executioner?
Thou art the cause, and most accursed effect.
Your beauty was the cause of that effect. Your beauty, which did haunt me in my sleep to undertake the death of all the world, so I might live 1 hour in your sweet bosom.
If I thought that, I tell thee, homicide, these nails should rend that beauty from my cheeks.
These eyes could never endure sweet beauty's wreck. You should not blemish it if I stood by. As all the world is cheered by the sun, so I by that. It is my day, my life.
Black night o'ershade thy day, and death thy life.
Curse not thyself, fair creature. Thou art both.
I would I were, to be revenged on thee.
It is a quarrel most unnatural to be revenged on him that loveth thee.
It is a quarrel just and reasonable to be revenged on him that slew my husband.
He that bereft thee, lady, of thy husband, did it to help thee to a better husband.
His better doth not breathe upon the earth.
He lives that loves thee better than he could.
Name him.
Plantagenet.
Why, that was he.
The self-same name, but one of better nature.
Where is he?
Here. Why dost thou spit at me?
Would it were mortal poison for thy sake.
Never came poison from so sweet a place.
Never hung poison on a fouler toad. Out of my sight. Thou dost infect my eyes.
Thine eyes, sweet lady, have infected mine.
Would they were basilisks, to strike thee dead.
I would they were, that I might die at once. For now they kill me with a living death. Those eyes of thine from mine have drawn salt tears, shamed their aspect with store of childish drops. These eyes that never shed remorseful tear, know when thy warlike father, like a child, told the sad story of my father's death, and 20 times made pause to sob and weep, that all the standers by had wet their cheeks like trees bedashed with rain. In that sad time my manly eyes did scorn an humble tear, and what these sorrows could not thence exhale, thy beauty hath, and made them blind with weeping. I never sued to friend nor enemy. My tongue could never learn sweet, smoothing word. But now thy beauty has proposed my fee, my proud heart sues and prompts my tongue to speak. Teach not thy lips such scorn, for they were made for kissing, lady, not for such contempt. If thy revengeful heart cannot forgive, lo, here, I lend thee this sharp-pointed sword, which if thou please to hide in this true bosom, and let the soul forth that adoreth thee, I lay it naked to the deadly stroke, and humbly beg the death upon my knee. Nay, do not pause, for I did kill King Henry, but 'twas thy beauty that provoked me. Nay, now dispatch, 'twas I that stabbed young Edward, but 'twas thy heavenly face that set me on. Take up the sword again, or take up me.
Arise, dissembler. Though I wish thy death, I will not be thy executioner.
Then bid me kill myself, and I will do it.
I have already.
Tush! That was in thy rage. Speak it again, and even with the word, that hand which for thy love did kill thy love, shall for thy love kill a far truer love.
Would I knew thy heart.
'Tis figured in my tongue.
I fear me both are false.
Then never man was true.
Well, put up your sword.
Say then my peace is made.
That shall you know hereafter.
But shall I live in hope?
All men, I hope, live so.
Vouchsafe to wear this ring.
To take is not to give.
Look how this ring encompasseth thy finger. Even so thy breast encloseth my poor heart. Wear both of them, for both of them are thine. And if thy poor devoted suppliant may but beg one favour at thy gracious hand, thou dost confirm his happiness for ever.
What is it?
That it would please thee, leave these sad designs to him that hath more cause to be a mourner, and presently repair to Crosby Place, where after I have solemnly interned at Chertsey Monastery this noble king, and wet his grave with my repentant tears, I will with all expedient duty see you. For divers unknown reasons, I beseech you, grant me this boon.
With all my heart, and much it joys me too, to see you are become so penitent.
Bid me farewell.
'Tis more than you deserve. But since you teach me how to flatter you, imagine I have said farewell already.
Sirs, take up the course.
Towards Chertsey, noble lord.
No, to Whitefriars. There attend my coming. Was ever woman in this humour wooed? Was ever woman in this humour won? I'll have her, but I will not keep her long. What, I? That killed her husband and his father, to take her in her heart's extremest hate, with curses in her mouth, tears in her eyes, the bleeding witness of our hatred by, and yet to win her, all the world to nothing. Hath she forgot already that brave prince, Edward, her lord, whom I some 3 months since stabbed in my angry mood at Tewkesbury? And will she yet debase her eyes on me, that cropped the golden prime of this sweet prince and made her widow to a woeful bed? On me, whose all not equals Edward's moiety? On me, that halt and am unshapen thus? My dukedom to a beggarly denier, I do mistake my person all this while. Upon my life she finds, although I cannot myself, to be a marvellous proper man. I'll be at charges for a looking-glass, and entertain some score or two of tailors to study fashions to adorn my body. Since I am crept in favour with myself, I will maintain it with some little cost. But first I'll turn yon fellow in his grave, and then return, lamenting, to my love. Shine out, fair sun, till I have bought a glass, that I may see my shadow as I pass.
Have patience, madam. There's no doubt His Majesty will soon recover his accustomed health.
In that you brook it ill, it makes him worse. Therefore, for God's sake, entertain good comfort and cheer his grace with quick and merry eyes.
If he were dead, what would betide of me?
No other harm but loss of such a lord.
The loss of such a lord includes all harm.
The heavens have blessed you with a goodly son to be your comforter when he is gone.
Oh, he is young, and his minority is put under the trust of Richard Gloucester, a man that loves not me nor none of you.
Is it concluded that he should be protected?
It is determined, not concluded yet, but so it must be if the king miscarry.
Here come the lords of Buckingham and Derby.
Good time of day unto your royal grace. God make your majesty joyful as you have been.
The Countess Richmond, good my lord of Derby, to your good prayers will scarcely say amen. Yet, Stanley, notwithstanding she is your wife and loves not me, be you, good lord, assured, I hate not you for her proud arrogance.
I do beseech you, either not believe the envious slanders of her false accusers, or, if she be accused in true report, bear with her weakness, which, I think, proceeds from wayward sickness and no grounded malice.
Saw you the king today, my lord of Derby?
But now the Duke of Buckingham and I are come from visiting His Majesty.
What likelihood of his amendment, lords?
Madam, good hope. His grace speaks cheerfully.
Oh, God grant him health. Did you confer with him?
Aye, madam, he desires to make atonement betwixt the Duke of Gloucester and your brothers, and betwixt them and my Lord Chamberlain, and sent to warn them to his royal presence.
Oh, would all were well. But that will never be. I fear our happiness is at its highest.
They do me wrong, and I will not endure it! Who are they that complain unto the king that I forsooth am stern and love them not?
By holy Paul, they love his grace but lightly that fill his ears with such dissentious rumours. Because I cannot flatter and speak fair, smile in men's faces, smooth, deceive and cog, duck with French nods and apish courtesy, I must be held a rancorous enemy. Cannot a plain man live and think no harm, but thus his simple truth must be abused by silken, sly, insinuating jacks?
Brother of Gloucester, you mistake the matter.
When have I injured thee? When done thee wrong? Or thee, or any of your faction? A plague upon you all!
His royal person, whom God preserve, better than you would wish, cannot be quiet scarce a breathing while, but you must trouble him with lewd complaint.
The king of his own royal disposition, and not provoked by any suitor else, aiming belike at your interior hatred, which in your outward action shows itself against my children, brothers, and myself, makes him to send, that thereby he may gather the ground of your ill will, and so remove it.
I cannot tell. The world is grown so bad that wrens make prey where eagles dare not perch. Since every jack became a gentleman, there's many a gentle person made a jack.
Come, we know your meaning, Brother Gloucester. You envy my advancement and my friends. God grant we never may have need of you.
Meantime, God grants that we have need of you. Our brother is imprisoned by your means, myself disgraced, and the nobility held in contempt, whilst many fair promotions are daily given to ennoble those that scarce some 2 days since were worth a noble.
By him that raised me to this careful height, from that contented hap which I enjoyed, I never did incense his majesty against the Duke of Clarence, but have been an earnest advocate to plead for him. My lord, you do me shameful injury falsely to draw me in these vile suspects.
You may deny that you were not the cause of my Lord Hastings' late imprisonment?
She may, my lord.
She may, Lord Rivers, why, who knows not so? She may do more, sir, than denying that. She may help you to many fair preferments, and then deny her aiding hand therein, and lay those honours on your high deserts. What may she not? She may, yea, marry may she...
What marry may she?
What marry may she? Marry with a king. A bachelor, a handsome stripling too. I was your grandam had a worser match.
My lord of Gloucester, I have too long borne your blunt upbraidings and your bitter scoffs. By heaven, I will acquaint his majesty with those gross taunts I often have endured. I had rather be a country servant maid than a great queen with this condition. To be thus taunted, scorned, and baited at, small joy have I in being England's queen.
And lesson be that small, God, I beseech thee, thy honour, state, and seat is due to me.
What? Threat you me with telling of the king? Tell him, and spare not. Look, what I have said I will avouch in presence of the king. I dare adventure to be sent to the tower, 'tis time to speak. My pains are quite forgot.
Out, devil! I remember them too well. Thou slewest my husband Henry in the Tower, and Edward, my poor son, at Tewkesbury.
Ere you were queen, yea, or your husband king, I was a pack-horse in his great affairs, a weeder out of his proud adversaries, a liberal rewarder of his friends. To royalize his blood, I spilt mine own.
Yea, and much better blood than his or thine.
In all which time you and your husband Grey were factious for the house of Lancaster. Let me put in your minds, if you forget, what you have been ere now, and what you are, withal what I have been, and what I am.
A murderous villain, and so still thou art.
Poor Clarence did forsake his father Warwick, yea, and forswore himself, which jees you pardon,
which God revenge,
to fight on Edward's party for the crown.
and for his meed, poor lord, he is mewed up. I would to God my heart were flint like Edward's, or Edward's soft and pitiful like mine. I am too childish foolish for this world.
Hie thee to hell, for shame, and leave the world, thou cackle demon. There thy kingdom is.
My lord of Gloucester, in those busy days which here you urge to prove us enemies, we followed then our lord, our lawful king. So should we you, if you should be our king.
If I should be, I'd rather be a peddler. Far be it from my heart the thought of it.
Hear me, you wrangling pirates, that fall out in sharing that which you have pilled from me. Which of you trembles not that looks on me, if not that I, being queen, you bow like subjects? Yet that by you deposed you quake like rebels? Ah, gentle villain, do not turn away.
Foul, wrinkled witch, what makest thou in my sight?
But repetition of what thou hast marred. That will I make before I let thee go.
Wert thou not banished on pain of death?
I was, but I do find more pain in banishment than death can yield me here by my abode. A husband and a son thou owest to me, and thou a kingdom. All of you, allegiance. The sorrow that I have by right is yours, and all the pleasures you usurp are mine.
The curse my noble father laid on thee, when thou didst crown his warlike brows with paper, and with thy scorns drewest rivers from his eyes, and then to dry them gavest the Duke a clout steeped in the faultless blood of pretty Rutland. His curses then from bitterness of soul denounced against thee are all fallen upon thee, and God, not we, hath plagued thy bloody deed.
So just is God to right the innocent.
It was the foulest deed to slay that babe, and the most merciless that e'er was heard of.
Tyrants themselves wept when it was reported. No man but prophesied revenge for it.
Northumberland then present wept to see it.
What? Were you snarling all before I came, ready to catch each other by the throat, and turn you all your hatred now on me? Did York's dread curse prevail so much with heaven, that Henry's death, my lovely Edward's death, their kingdom's loss, my woeful banishment, could all but answer for that peevish brat? Can curses pierce the clouds and enter heaven? Why then, give way, dull clouds, to my quick curses! If not by war, by surfeit die your king, as ours by murder to make him a king. Edward, thy son, which now is Prince of Wales, for Edward, my son, which was Prince of Wales, die in his youth by like untimely violence. Thyself, a queen, for me that was a queen, outlive thy glory, like my wretched self. Long mayst thou live to wail thy children's loss, and after many lengthened hours of grief, die neither mother, wife, nor England's queen. Rivers and Dorset, you were standers by, and so was thou, Lord Hastings, when my son was stabbed with bloody daggers. God, I pray him, that none of you may live your natural age, but by some unlooked accident cut off!
Have done thy charm, thou hateful withered hag.
And leave out thee. Stay, dog, for thou shalt hear me. If heaven have any grievous plague in store, exceeding those that I can wish upon thee, oh, let them keep it till thy sins be ripe, and then hurl down their indignation on thee, the troubler of the poor world's peace. The worm of conscience still begnaw thy soul. Thy friends suspect for traitors while thou livest, and take deep traitors for thy dearest friends. No sleep, close up that deadly eye of thine, unless it be while some tormenting dream affrights thee with a hell of ugly devils, thou elvish-marked, abortive, rooting hog! Thou that was sealed in thy nativity, the slave of nature and the son of hell, thou slander of thy mother's heavy womb, thou loathed issue of thy father's loins, thou rag of honour, thou detested...
Margaret.
Richard!
Huh?
I call thee not.
I cry thee mercy then, for I had thought that thou hast called me all these better names.
Why, so I did, but looked for no reply. Oh, let me make the period to my curse.
'Tis done by me and ends in Margaret.
Thus have you breathed your curse against yourself.
Poor painted queen, vain flourish of my fortune, why strew'st thou sugar on that bottled spider, whose deadly web ensnareth thee about? Fool, fool, thou whetst a knife to kill thyself. The time will come when thou shalt wish for me to help thee curse that poisonous, bunch-backed toad!
False boding woman, end thy frantic curse, lest to thy harm thou move our patience.
Foul shame upon you. You have all moved mine.
Have done. Have done.
Oh, princely Buckingham, I'll kiss thy hand in sign of league and amity with thee. Now, fair befall thee and thy noble house. Thy garments are not spotted with our blood, nor thou within the compass of my curse.
Nor no one here, for curses never pass the lips of those that breathe them in the air.
I'll not believe but they ascend the sky, and there awake God's gentle sleeping peace. Oh, Buckingham, take heed of yonder dog. Look, when he fawns, he bites, and when he bites, his venomed tooth will rankle to the death. Have not to do with him, beware of him. Sin, death, and hell have set their marks on him, and all their ministers attend on him.
What doth she say, my lord of Buckingham?
Nothing that I respect, my gracious lord.
What, dost thou scorn me for my gentle counsel, and soothe the devil that I warn thee from? Oh, but remember this another day, when he shall split thy very heart with sorrow, and say, poor Margaret was a prophetess. Live, each of you, the subjects to his hate, and he to yours, and all of you to God's.
My hair doth stand on end to hear her curses.
So doth mine. I muse why she's at liberty.
I cannot blame her. By God's holy mother, she hath had too much wrong, and I repent my part thereof that I have done to her.
I never did her any to my knowledge.
But you have all the vantage of her wrong. I was too hot to do somebody good, that is too cold in thinking of it now. Marry, as for Clarence, he is well repaid. He is franked up to fatting for his pains. God pardon them that are the cause of it.
A virtuous and Christian-like conclusion, to pray for them that have done scathe to us.
So do I ever, being well advised. For had I cursed now, I had cursed myself.
Madam, his majesty doth call for you, and for your grace, and you, my noble lords.
Sirrah, we come. Lords, will you go with us?
Madam, we will attend your grace.
I do the wrong, and first begin to brawl. The secret mischiefs that I set abroach, I lay unto the grievous charge of others. Clarence, whom I indeed have laid in darkness, I do beweep to many simple gulls, namely to Hastings, Stanley, Buckingham, and say it is the Queen and her allies that stir the king against the Duke my brother. Now they believe it, and withal wet me to be revenged on Rivers, Dorset, Grey. But then I sigh, and with a piece of scripture tell them that God bids us do good for evil, and thus I clothe my naked villainy with old odd ends stolen out of Holy Writ, and seem a saint, when most I play the devil. But soft, here come my executioners.
How now, my hardy, stout resolved mates? Are you now going to dispatch this deed?
We are, my lord, and conjure out the warrant that we may be admitted where he is.
Well thought upon. I have it here about me. When you have done, repair to Crosby Place. But, sirs, be sudden in the execution. Withal obdurate, do not hear him plead. For Clarence is well spoken, and perhaps may move your hearts to pity if you mark him.
Oh, tush, fear not, my lord. We will not stand a prate. Talkers are no good doers. Be assured we come to use our hands, not our tongues.
Your eyes drop millstones when fools' eyes drop tears. I like you, lads. About your business straight. Go, dispatch.
We will, my lord.
Why looks your grace so heavily today?
Oh, I have passed a miserable night. So full of ugly sights of ghastly dreams that, as I am a Christian, faithful man, I would not spend another such a night, though 'twere to buy a world of happy days. So full of dismal terror was the time.
What was your dream? I long to hear you tell it.
Methought that I had broken from the tower and was embarked to cross to Burgundy, and in my company my brother Gloucester, who from my cabin tempted me to walk upon the hatches. Thence we looked toward England, and sighted up 1,000 fearful times during the wars of York and Lancaster that had befallen us. As we paced along upon the giddy footing of the hatches, methought that Gloucester stumbled, and in falling struck me that thought to stay him overboard into the tumbling billows of the main. Lord, methought what pain it was to drown, what dreadful noise of waters in mine ears, what ugly sights of death within mine eyes. Methought I saw 1,000 fearful wrecks, 10,000 men that fishes gnawed upon, wedges of gold, great anchors, heaps of pearl, inestimable stones, unvalued jewels, all scattered in the bottom of the sea. Some lay in dead men's skulls, and in those holes where eyes did once inhabit there were crept, as 'twere in scorn of eyes, reflecting gems, which wooed the slimy bottom of the deep and mocked the dead bones that lay scattered by.
Had you such leisure in the time of death to gaze upon the secrets of the deep?
Methought I had, and often did I strive to yield the ghost, but still the envious flood kept in my soul, and would not let it forth to seek the empty, vast, and wandering air, but smothered it within my panting bulk, which almost burst to belch it in the sea.
Awake you not with this sore agony?
Oh, no, my dream was lengthened after life. Oh, then began the tempest to my soul, who passed, methought, the melancholy flood, with that grim ferryman which poets write of, unto the kingdom of perpetual night. The first that there did greet my stranger soul was my great father-in-law, renowned Warwick, who cried aloud, "What scourge for perjury can this dark monarchy afford false Clarence?" And so he vanished. Then came wandering by a shadow like an angel, with bright hair dabbled in blood, and he shrieked out aloud, "Clarence is come! False, fleeting, perjured Clarence that stabbed me in the field by Tewkesbury! Seize on him, Furies! Take him to your torments!" With that, methoughts, a legion of foul fiends environed me about, and howled in mine ears such hideous cries that with the very noise I, trembling, waked, and for a season after could not believe but that I was in hell. Such terrible impression made the dream.
No marvel, my lord. Though it affrighted you, I promise, I'm afraid to hear you tell it.
O Brackenbury, I have done these things, which now bear evidence against my soul, for Edward's sake, and see how he requites me. I pray thee, gentle keeper, stay by me. My soul is heavy, and I fain would sleep.
I will, my lord. God give you grace, good rest.
Sorrow breaks seasons and reposing hours, makes the night morning and the noontide night. Princes have but their titles for their glories, an outward honour for an inward toil, and for unfelt imagination they often feel a world of restless cares, so that betwixt their titles and low names there's nothing differs but the outward fame.
Who's here?
In God's name, what are you, and how came you hither?
I will speak with Clarence. Yeah, and I came hither on my legs.
Yeah, and you so brief?
It is better to be brief than tedious. Show my commission, talk no more.
I am in this commanded to deliver the noble Duke of Clarence to your hands. I will not reason what is meant hereby, because I will be guiltless of the meaning. Here are the keys. There lies the Duke asleep. Out to the king and signify to him that thus I have resigned my charge to you.
Yeah, do so. It's a point of wisdom. Fare you well.
What? Shall we stab him as he sleeps?
No. Then he'll say 'twas done cowardly when he wakes.
When he wakes? Why, fool, he should never wake till the judgment day.
Why? Then he will say we stabbed him sleeping.
The urging of that word, judgment, has bred a kind of remorse in me.
What, art thou afraid?
Not to kill him, having a warrant for it, but to be damned for killing him, from which no warrant can defend us.
I thought thou hadst been resolute.
So I am. To let him live.
Oh, back to the Duke of Gloucester, tell him so.
But pray thee stay a while. I hope my holy humour will change. 'Twas one to hold me, but while one would tell 20.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 20. How does that feel now?
Faith, some certain dregs of conscience are yet within me.
Well, remember our reward when the deed is done.
As soon as he dies, I forgot the reward.
Where is thy conscience now?
In the Duke of Gloucester's purse.
Oh, so when he opens his purse to give us our reward, thy conscience flies out.
I'll let it go. There's few and I will entertain it.
Have it come to thee again?
I'll not meddle with it. It's a dangerous thing. It makes a man a coward. A man cannot steal, but it accuseth him. He cannot swear, but it checks him. He cannot lie with his neighbour's wife, but it detects him. It made me once restore a purse of gold that I found. It beggars any man that keeps it. And every man that means to live well endeavours to trust to himself and to live without him.
Zoons. It's even now at my elbow persuading me not to kill the Duke.
Take the devil in thy mind and believe him not. He would insinuate with thee, but to make thee sigh.
I am strong-framed. He cannot prevail with me, I warrant thee.
Spoke like a tall fellow that respects his reputation. Shall we fall to work?
Take him over the costile with the hilts of thy sword, and then we will chop him in the malmsey butt in the next room.
Oh, excellent device. Make a sop of him.
Look, he stirs. Shall I strike?
No. First, let's reason with him.
Give me a cup of wine.
You shall have wine enough, my lord, anon.
In God's name, what art thou?
A man, as you are.
But not as I am royal.
Nor you as we are. Loyal.
How darkly and how deadly dost thou speak? Your eyes do menace me. Why look you pale? Who sent you hither? Wherefore do you come?
To
murder me?
Aye.
You scarcely have the hearts to tell me so, and therefore cannot have the hearts to do it. Wherein, my friends, have I offended you?
You offended us, you have not. But the king...
I shall be reconciled to him again.
Never, my lord. Therefore prepare to die.
Are you called forth from out a world of men to slay the innocent? What is my offence? Where is the evidence that doth accuse me? What lawful quest have given their verdict up unto the frowning judge? Or who pronounced the bitter sentence of poor Clarence' death? Before I be convict by course of law, to threaten me with death is most unlawful. I charge you, as you hope to have redemption by Christ's dear blood shed for our grievous sins, that you depart and lay no hands on me. The deed you undertake is damnable.
No. What we will do, we do upon command.
And he that hath commanded is the king.
Erroneous vassal, the great King of kings hath in the tables of his law commanded that thou shalt do no murder, and wilt thou then spurn at his edict and fulfill a man's? Take heed, for he holds vengeance in his hands to hurl upon their heads that break his law.
And that same vengeance doth he hurl on thee, for false forswearing and for murder too. Thou didst receive the holy sacrament to fight in quarrel of the house of Lancaster.
And, like a traitor to the name of God, didst break that vow, and with thy treacherous blade unrips the bowels of thy sovereign son.
Whom thou wert sworn to cherish and defend.
How canst thou urge God's dreadful law to us when thou hast broke it in so dear degree?
Alas, for whose sake did I that ill deed? For Edward, for my brother, for his sake. Why, sirs, he sent you not to murder me for this, for in this sin he is as deep as I. If you be hired for meat, go back again, and I will send you to my brother Gloucester, who shall reward you better for my life than Edward will for tidings of my death.
You are deceived. Your brother Gloucester hates you.
Oh, no, he loves me, and he holds me dear. Go you to him from me.
Why?
So we will.
Tell him that when our princely father York blessed his 3 sons with his victorious arm and charged us from his soul to love each other, he little thought of this divided friendship. Bid Gloucester think of this, and he will weep.
Aye, millstones. Has he lessoned us to weep?
Oh, do not slander him, for he is kind.
Right. The snow in harvest. Thou deceivest thyself. 'Tis he that sent us hither now to slaughter thee.
It cannot be. For when I parted with him, he hugged me in his arms and swore, with sobs, that he would labour my delivery.
Why, so he doth, when he delivers thee from this world's thraldom to the joys of heaven.
Make peace with God, for you must die, my lord.
Hast thou that holy feeling in thy soul to counsel me to make my peace with God, and art thou yet to thy own soul so blind that thou wilt war with God by murdering me? Ah, sirs, consider! He that set you on to do this deed will hate you for this deed.
What shall we do?
Relent and save your souls.
Relent? 'Tis cowardly and womanish.
Not to relent is beastly, savage, devilish. Which of you, if you were a prince's son being pent from liberty as I am now, if 2 such murderers as yourselves came to you, would not entreat for life? My friend, I spy some pity in thy looks. Oh, if thine eye be not a flatterer, come thou on my side and entreat for me, as you would beg were you in my distress. A begging prince? What beggar pities not?
Look behind you, my lord!
If all this will not do, I'll drown you in the malmsey butt within.
A bloody deed. I desperately dispatched. How fain, like Pilate, would I wash my hands of this most grievous, guilty murder done.
How now? What means thou that thou helpst me not? For heavens, the Duke shall know how slack thou art.
I would he knew that I had saved his brother. Take thou the fee, and tell him what I say. For I repent me that the Duke is slain.
So do not I. Go, coward as thou art. Well, I'll go hide his body in some hole until the Duke take order for his burial. And when I have my mead, I must away, for this will out. And here I must not stay.
Why so? Now have I done a good day's work. You peers, continue this united league. I every day expect an embassage from my Redeemer to redeem me hence. And now in peace my soul shall part to heaven, since I have set my friends at peace on earth. Rivers and Hastings, take each other's hand. Dissemble not your hatred. Swear your love.
By heaven, my heart is purged from grudging hate, and with my hand I seal my true heart's love.
So thrive I, as I truly swear the like.
Take heed you dally not before your king, lest he that is the supreme king of kings confound your hidden falsehood and award either of you to be the other's end.
So prosper I, as I swear perfect love.
And I, as I love Hastings with my heart.
Madam, yourself are not exempt in this, nor your son, Dorset, Buckingham, nor you, who have been factious one against the other. Wife, love Lord Hastings. Let him kiss your hand, and what you do, do it unfeignedly.
Here, Hastings. I will never more remember our former hatred. So thrive I and mine.
And so swear I, madam.
Now, princely Buckingham, seal thou this league with thy embracements to my wife's allies, and make me happy in your unity.
Whenever Buckingham doth turn his hate upon your grace, but with all duteous love doth cherish you and yours, God punish me with hate in those where I expect most love. When I have most need to employ a friend, and most assured that he is a friend, deep, hollow, treacherous, and full of guile be he unto me. This do I beg of God, when I am cold in love to you or yours.
A pleasing cordial, princely Buckingham, is this thy vow unto my sickly heart. There wanteth now our brother Gloucester here, to make the perfect period of this peace.
And in good time, here comes the noble Duke.
Tomorrow to my sovereign king and queen, and princely peers, a happy time of day.
Happy indeed, as we have spent the day. Brother, we have done deeds of charity, made peace, enmity, fair love of hate between these swelling, wrong, insensate peers.
A blessed labour, my most sovereign liege. Amongst this princely heap, if any here by false intelligence or wrong surmise hold me a foe, if I unwittingly or in my rage have aught committed that is hardly borne by any in this presence, I desire to reconcile me to his friendly peace. 'Tis death to me to be at enmity. I hate it and desire all good men's love. First, madam, I entreat true peace of you, which I will purchase with my duteous service. Of you, my noble cousin Buckingham, if ever any grudge were lodged between us. Of you, Lord Rivers and Lord Grey, of you that without desert have frowned on me. Dukes, earls, lords, gentlemen, indeed of all. I do not know that Englishman alive with whom my soul is any jot at odds more than the infant that is born tonight. I thank my God for my humility.
A holy day shall this be kept hereafter. I would to God all strifes were well compounded. My sovereign liege, I do beseech your majesty to take our brother Clarence to your grace.
Why, madam, have I offered love for this? To be so baited in this royal presence, who knows not that the noble duke is dead? You do him injury to scorn his course.
He knows not he is dead. Who knows he is?
Oh, seeing heaven, what a world is this?
Is Clarence dead? The order was reversed.
But he, poor soul, by your first order died, and that a winged Mercury did bear. Some tardy cripple bore the countermand that came too lag to see him buried.
A boon, my sovereign, for my service done.
I prithee peace! My soul is full of sorrow.
I will not rise, unless your highness grant.
Well, then speak at once. What is it thou demandest?
The forfeit, sovereign, of my servant's life, who slew today a righteous gentleman, lately attendant on the Duke of Norfolk.
Have I a tongue to doom my brother's death, and shall the same give pardon to a slave? My brother slew no man, his fault was thought, and yet his punishment was cruel death. Who sued to me for him? Who, in my rage, kneeled at my feet and bade me be advised? Who spake of brotherhood? Who spake of love? Who told me how the poor soul did forsake the mighty Warwick and did fight for me? Who told me in the field by Tewkesbury when Oxford had me down, he rescued me and said, "Dear brother, live and be a king"? Who told me when we both lay in the field frozen almost to death, how he did lap me even in his own garments and gave himself all thin and naked to the numb cold night? All this from my remembrance, brutish wrath, sinfully plucked, and not a man of you had so much grace to put it in my mind. But when your carters or your waiting vassals have done a drunken slaughter and defaced the precious image of our dear Redeemer, you straight are on your knees for pardon, pardon! And I unjustly too must grant it you, but for my brother not a man would speak. Nor I, ungracious, speak unto myself for him, poor soul. The proudest of you all have been beholden to him in his life, yet none of you would once plead for his life. Oh, God, I fear thy justice will take hold on me and you and mine and yours for this. Come, hasten, help me to my closet. Oh, poor Clarence.
Hark, what noise is this?
Who shall hinder me to wail and weep, to chide my fortune and torment myself?
Madam.
I'll join with black despair against my soul, and to myself become an enemy.
What means this scene of rude impatience?
To make an act of tragic violence. Edward, my lord, your son, our king, is dead. Why grow the branches now the root is withered? Why wither not the leaves, the sap being gone? If you will live, lament. If die, be brief, that our swift-winged souls may catch the king's, or like obedient subjects follow him to his new kingdom of perpetual rest.
So much interest have I in thy sorrow, as I had title in thy noble husband. I have bewept a worthy husband's death, and lived by looking on his images. But now 2 mirrors of his princely semblance are cracked in pieces by malignant death. And I, for comfort, have but one false glass, which grieves me when I see my shame in him. Thou art a widow, yet thou art a mother, and hast the comfort of thy children left thee.
What stay had I but Edward, and he's gone.
Comfort, dear mother.
Madam, bethink you like a careful mother of the young prince, your son. Send straight for him, let him be crowned, in him your comfort lives. Drown desperate sorrow in dead Edward's grave, and plant your joys in living Edward's throne.
Madam, have comfort.
All of us have cause to wail the dimming of our shining star, but none can cure their harms by wailing them. Madam, my mother, I do cry you mercy, I did not see your grace. Humbly on my knee I crave your blessing.
God bless thee, and put meekness in thy mind, love, charity, obedience, and true duty.
Amen.
And make me die a good old man. That is the butt end of a mother's blessing. I marvel why her grace did leave it out.
You cloudy princes and heart-sorrowing peers that bear this mutual heavy load of moan, now cheer each other in each other's love. Though we have spent our harvest of this king, we are to reap the harvest of his son. Meseemeth good that with some little train, forthwith from Ludlow, the young prince be fetched hither to London, to be crowned our king.
Why with some little train, my lord of Buckingham?
Marry, my lord, lest by a multitude the new-healed wound of malice should break out, which would be so much the more dangerous by how much the estate is green and yet ungoverned. Where every horse bears his commanding rein, and may direct his course as please himself, as well the fear of harm, as harm apparent, in my opinion, ought to be prevented.
I hope the king made peace with all of us, and the compact is firm and true in me.
And so in me. And so I think in all. Yet since it is but green, it should be put to no apparent likelihood of breach, which haply by much company might be urged. Therefore I say with noble Buckingham that it is meet so few should fetch the prince.
Then be it so. And go we to determine who they shall be that straight shall post to Ludlow. Madam, and you, my mother, will you go to give your censures in this weighty business?
With all my heart.
Neighbour, well met. Whither away so fast?
I promise you, scarcely know myself. Hear you the news abroad?
Aye, that the king is dead.
Bad news, my lady, seldom comes the better. I fear 'twill prove a troublous world.
Neighbours, Godspeed. Give you good morrow, madam. Doth this news hold of good King Edward's death?
Aye, it's too true. God help the while.
Then we must look to see a troublous world. No, by God's good grace, his son shall reign. Woe to the land that's governed by a child. So stood the state when Henry VI was crowned in Paris, but at 9 months old. Stood the state so? No, good friends, God wot. For then this land was famously enriched with politic, grave counsel. Then the king had virtuous uncles to protect his grace. Why, so hath this, both by the father and mother? Better it were, they all came by the father. Oh, by the father, there were none at all. For emulation now, who shall be nearest will touch us all too near, if God prevent not. Oh, full of danger is the Duke of Gloucester, and the Queen's sons and brothers, haught and proud. And were they to be ruled and not to rule, this sickly land might solace as before.
Come, we fear the worst. All shall be well.
When clouds appear, wise men put on their cloaks. When great leaves fall, the winter is at hand. When the sun sets, who doth not look for night?
Last night I hear they lay at Northampton. At Stony Stratford will they be tonight. Tomorrow or next day they will be here.
I long with all my heart to see the prince. I hope he is much grown since last I saw him.
But I hear no. They say my son of York hath almost overta'en him in his growth.
Ay, mother, but I would not have it so.
Why, my young cousin, it is good to grow.
Grandam, one night as we did sit at supper, my Uncle Rivers talked how I did grow more than my brother. I, quoth my Uncle Gloucester, small herbs have grace, great weeds do grow apace. And since methinks I would not grow so fast, because sweet flowers are slow and weeds make haste.
Good faith, good faith. The saying did not hold in him that did object the same to thee. He was the wretchedst thing when he was young, so long a-growing and so leisurely, that if his rule were true, he should be gracious.
Why, madam, so no doubt he is.
I hope he is. But yet let mothers doubt.
It is your son, Lord Marquis Dorset. What news, Lord Marquis?
Such news, my lord, as grieves me to unfold.
How fares the prince?
Well, madam, and in health.
What is thy news, then?
Lord Rivers and Lord Grey are sent to Pomfret. With them Sir Thomas Vaughan, prisoners.
Who hath committed them?
The mighty dukes, Gloucester and Buckingham.
Ay me, I see the downfall of our house. The tiger now hath seized the gentle hind. Insulting tyranny begins to jut upon the innocent and all is thrown. Welcome destruction, blood and massacre. I see as in a map the end of all.
Accursed and unquiet wrangling days. How many of you have mine eyes beheld? My husband lost his life to get the crown, and often up and down my sons were tossed for me to joy and weep their gain and loss. And being seated, and domestic broils clean overblown, themselves, the conquerors, make war upon themselves, brother to brother, self against self. Oh, preposterous and frantic outrage, end thy damned spleen, or let me die to look on death no more.
Come, my boy, we will to sanctuary. Madam, Farewell.
I'll go along with you.
You have no cause.
My gracious lady, go. I'll conduct you to the sanctuary.
Welcome, sweet prince, to London, to your chamber.
Welcome, dear cousin, my thoughts sovereign. The weary way hath made you melancholy.
No, uncle, but our crosses on the way have made it tedious, wearisome, and heavy. I want more uncles here to welcome me.
Sweet prince, the untainted virtue of your years hath not yet dived into the world's deceit. Those uncles which you want were dangerous. Your grace attended to their sugared words, but looked not on the poison of their hearts. God keep you from them, and from such false friends.
God keep me from false friends, but they were none. I thought my mother and my brother York would long ere this have met us on the way. Fie, what a slug is Hastings, that he comes not to tell us whether they come or no.
And in good time, here comes the sweating lord.
Welcome, my lord.
On what occasion, God he knows not, I, the Queen, your mother, and your brother York have taken sanctuary. The tender prince would fain have come with me to meet your grace, but by his mother was perforce withheld.
Fie, what an indirect and peevish course is this of hers. Lord Cardinal, will your grace persuade the Queen to send the Duke of York unto his princely brother presently?
My lord.
If she deny, Lord Hastings go with him, and from her jealous arms pluck him perforce.
My lord of Buckingham, if my weak oratory can from his mother win the Duke of York, anon expect him here. But if she be obdurate to mild entreaties, God in heaven forbid we should infringe the holy privilege of blessed sanctuary. Not for all this land would I be guilty of so deep a sin.
You are too senseless, obstinate, my lord, too ceremonious and traditional. Weigh it but with the grossness of this age. You break not sanctuary in seizing him. The benefit thereof is always granted to those whose dealings have deserved the place, and those who have the wit to claim the place. This prince hath neither claimed it nor deserved it, and therefore, in mine opinion, cannot have it. Oft have I heard of sanctuary men, but sanctuary children yet till now.
My lord, you shall o'errule my mind for once. Come on, Lord Hastings, will you go with me?
I go, my lord.
Good lords, make all the speedy haste you may.
My lord.
Say, Uncle Gloucester, if our brother come, where shall we sojourn till our coronation?
Where it seems best unto your royal self. If I may counsel you, some day or two your highness shall repose you at the Tower.
I do not like the Tower of any place. Did Julius Caesar build that place, my lord?
He did, my gracious lord, begin that place, which since succeeding ages have re-edified.
Is it upon record, or else reported, successively from age to age he built it?
Upon record, my gracious lord.
But say, my lord, it were not registered. Methinks the truth should live from age to age, as 'twere a tale to all posterity, even to the general all-ending day.
So wise, so young, they say, do never live long.
I'll tell you what, my cousin Buckingham,
What, my gracious lord?
and if I live until I be a man, I'll win our ancient right in France again, or die a soldier as I lived a king.
Short summers lightly have a forward spring.
Now, in good time, here comes the Duke of York.
Richard of York, how fares our loving brother?
Well, my dread lord, so must I call you now.
Aye, brother, to our grief, as it is yours. Too late he died that might have kept that title, which by his death hath lost much majesty.
How fares our cousin, noble Lord of York?
I thank you, gentle uncle. Oh, my lord, you said that idle weeds are fast in growth. The prince, my brother, hath outgrown me far.
He hath, my lord.
And therefore is he idle?
Oh, my fair cousin, I must not say so.
Then is he more beholding to you than I?
He may command me as my sovereign, but you have power in me as a kinsman.
I pray you, uncle, give me this dagger.
My dagger, little cousin, with all my heart.
A beggar, brother.
Of my kind uncle that I know will give.
A greater gift than that I'll give my cousin.
A greater gift. Oh, that's the sword to it.
Would you have my weapon, little lord?
I would, that I might thank you as you call me.
How?
Little.
My Lord of York will still be cross in talk. Uncle, your grace knows how to bear with him.
You mean to bear me, not to bear with me? Uncle, my brother mocks both you and me. Because that I am little like an ape, he thinks that you should bear me on your shoulders.
With what a sharp provided wit he reasons. To mitigate the scorn he gives his uncle, he prettily and aptly taunts himself. So cunning and so young is wonderful.
My lord, will please you pass along. Myself and my good cousin Buckingham will to your mother to entreat of her to meet you at the Tower and welcome you.
I shall not sleep in quiet at the Tower.
Why, what should you fear?
Marry, my uncle Clarence's angry ghost. My granddam told me he was murdered there.
I fear no uncle's dead.
Nor none that live, I hope.
And if they live, I hope I need not fear. But come, my lord, and with a heavy heart, thinking on them, go I to the Tower.
Think you, my lord, this little prating York was not incensed by his subtle mother to taunt and scorn you thus opprobriously?
No doubt, no doubt. Oh, 'tis a parlous boy. Bold, quick, ingenious, forward, capable. He's all the mother's from top to toe.
Well, let them rest. Come hither, Catesby. Thou art sworn as deeply to effect what we intend as closely to conceal what we impart. Thou know'st our reasons urged upon the way. What thinkst thou? Is it not an easy matter to make William Lord Hastings of our mind for the instalment of this noble duke in the seat royal of this famous isle?
He, for his father's sake, so loves the prince that he will not be one to aught against him.
What thinkst thou then of Stanley? What will he?
He will do all in all as Hastings doth.
Well, then, no more but this. Go, gentle Catesby, and, as it were far off, sound thou, Lord Hastings, how doth he stand affected to our purpose, and summon him tomorrow to the Tower to sit about the coronation. If thou dost find him tractable to us, encourage him, and show him all our reasons. If he be leaden, icy cold, unwilling, be thou so to him, so break off your talk, and give us notice of his inclination, for we tomorrow hold divided councils, wherein thyself shalt highly be employed.
Commend me to Lord William. Tell him, Catesby, his ancient knot of dangerous adversaries tomorrow are let blood at Pomfret Castle. And bid my friend, for joy of this good news, give Mistress Shaw one gentle kiss the more.
Good Catesby, go. Effect this business soundly.
My good lords both, with all the heed I may.
Now, my lord, what shall we do if we perceive Lord Hastings will not yield to our complot?
Chop off his head, man. Somewhat we will do. And look, when I am king, claim thou of me the earldom of Hereford and the movables whereof the king my brother stood possessed.
I'll claim that promise at your grace's hands.
And look to have it yielded with all willingness.
What ho, my lord?
Who knocks at the door?
A messenger from the Lord Stanley. What is the clock? Upon the stroke of 4.
Cannot thy master sleep these tedious nights?
So it should seem by that I have to say. First he commends him to your noble lordship.
And then?
And then he sends you word. He dreamt tonight the boar had raised his helm. Besides, he says there are 2 councils held, and that may be determined at the one which may make you and him to rue at the other. Therefore he sends to know your lordship's pleasure, if presently you will take horse with him, and with all speed post with him toward the north, to shun the danger that his soul divines.
Go, fellow, go. Return unto thy lord, and tell him his fears are shallow, wanting instance. As for his dreams, I wonder he is so fond to trust the mockery of unquiet slumbers. To fly the boar before the boar pursues were to incense the boar to follow us, and make pursuit where he did mean no chase. Go, bid thy master rise, and come to me, and we will both together to the tower, where he shall see the boar will use him kindly.
My gracious lord, I'll tell him what you say.
Many good morrows to my noble lord.
Good morrow, Catesby. You're early stirring. What news? What news in this our tottering state?
Oh, it is a reeling world indeed, my lord. And I believe 'twill never stand upright till Richard wear the garland of the realm.
How? Wear the garland? Dost thou mean the crown?
Aye, my good lord.
I'll have this crown of mine cut from my shoulders ere I will see the crown, so foul misplaced. But canst thou guess that he doth aim at it?
Aye, on my life. And hopes to find you forward upon his party for the gain thereof. And thereupon he sends you this good news, that this same very day your enemies, the kindred of the Queen, must die at Pomfret.
Indeed, I am no mourner for that news, because they have been still my enemies. But that I will give my voice on Richard's side to bar my master's heirs in true descent, God knows I will not do it, to the death.
God keep your lordship in that gracious mind.
But I shall laugh at this a 12-month hence, that they who brought me in my master's hate, I live to look upon their tragedy. I tell thee, Catesby.
What, my lord?
Ere a fortnight make me older, I'll send some packing that yet think not on't.
'Tis a vile thing to die, my gracious lord, when men are unprepared and look not for it.
Oh, monstrous, monstrous. And so it falls out with Rivers, Vaughan and Grey, and so 'twill do with some men else, who think themselves as safe as thou and I, who, as thou knowest, are dear to princely Richard and to Buckingham.
The princes both make high account of you, for they account his head upon the bridge.
I know they do, and I have well deserved it.
My lord, good morrow. Good morrow, Catesby.
Oh, come on, where's your boar spear, man? What, fear you the boar and go so unprovided?
You may jest on, but by the Holy Rood, I do not like these several counsels,
My lord, I hold my life as dear as you do yours. Think you but that I know our state secure, I would be so triumphant as I am.
The lords at Pomfret, when they rode from London, were jocund and supposed their state was sure. And they indeed had no cause to mistrust, but yet you see how soon the day o'ercast. This sudden stab of rancour I misdoubt. Pray God, I say, I prove a needless coward. But come, my lord. Shall we to the tower?
I'll go with thee. Good Catesby, let's away.
Sir Richard Ratcliffe, let me tell thee this. Today shalt thou behold a subject die for truth, for duty, and for loyalty.
Now Margaret's curse is fallen upon our heads for standing by when Richard stabbed her son.
Then cursed she Hastings, then cursed she Buckingham, then cursed she Richard. Oh, remember God to hear her prayers for them as now for us. And for my sister and her princely sons, be satisfied, dear God, with our true blood, which, as thou knowest, unjustly must be spilt.
Make haste. The hour of death is expiate.
Come, Grey. Come, Vaughan. Let us here embrace. Farewell until we meet again in heaven.
Now, noble lords, the cause why we are met is to determine of the coronation. In God's name, speak. When is the royal day?
Are all things fitting for that royal time?
It is, and wants but nomination.
Tomorrow, then, I judge a happy day.
Who knows the Lord Protector's mind herein? Who is most inward with the royal duke?
Your Grace, we think, should soonest know his mind.
Why, my lord? We know each other's faces, but for our hearts he knows no more of mine than I of yours. Nor I no more of his than you of mine. Lord Hastings, you and he are near in love.
Oh, I thank his grace, I know he loves me well, but for his purpose in the coronation I have not sounded him, nor he delivered his gracious pleasure any way therein. But you, my noble lords, may name the time, and in the Duke's behalf I'll give my voice, which I presume he'll take in gentle part.
Have a good time. Here comes the Duke himself.
My noble lords and cousins all, good morrow. I have been long a sleeper, but I hope my absence doth neglect no great designs, which by my presence might have been concluded.
Had you not come upon your cue, my lord, William Lord Hastings had pronounced your part, your voice, for crowning of the king.
Than my Lord Hastings no man might be bolder. His lordship knows me well and loves me well.
Thank your grace.
My Lord of Ely.
My lord?
When I was last in Holborn, I saw good strawberries in your garden there. I do beseech you, send for some of them.
Marry and will, my lord, with all my heart.
Cousin of Buckingham, a word with you.
Catesby hath sounded Hastings in our business, and finds the testy gentleman so hot as he will lose his head ere give consent his master's son, as worshipful he terms it, shall lose the royalty of England's throne.
Withdraw you hence, my lord, I'll follow you.
We have not yet set down this day of triumph. Tomorrow, in mine opinion, is too sudden, for I myself am not so well provided as else I would be were the day prolonged.
Where is my Lord Protector? I have sent for these strawberries.
His Grace looks cheerfully and smooth today. There's some conceit or other likes him well when he doth bid good morrow in such a spirit. I think there is never a man in Christendom can less hide his love or hate than he. For by his face straight shall you know his heart.
What of his heart perceive you in his face by any likelihood he showed today?
Marry, that with no man here is he offended. For were he had shown it in his looks.
I pray God he be not, I say.
I pray you all, tell me what they deserve that do conspire my death with devilish plots of damned witchcraft, and that have prevailed upon my body with their hellish charms.
The tender love I bear your grace, my lord, makes me most forward in this noble presence to doom the offenders whatsoever they be. I say, my lord, they have deserved death.
Then be your eyes the witness of their evil. See how I am bewitched. Behold, mine arm is like a blasted sapling withered up. And this is Edward's wife, that monstrous witch, consorted with that harlot strumpet Shaw, that by their witchcraft thus have marked me.
Well, if they have done this thing, my noble lord...
If, thou protector of this damned strumpet, tellest thou me of ifs, thou art a traitor! Off with his head! Now! By St. Paul, I swear I will not dine until I see the same. Lovell and Ratcliffe, look that it be done. The rest that love me, rise and follow me.
Woe. Woe for England, and not a whit for me. For I, too fond, might have prevented this. Stanley did dream, the boar did raise our helms, but I disdained it, and did scorn to fly. Oh, Margaret, Margaret, now thy heavy curse is lighted on poor Hastings' wretched head.
Dispatch, my lord. The Duke would be at dinner. Make a short shrift, he longs to see your head.
Oh, momentary grace of mortal men, which we more hunt for than the grace of God, who builds his hope in air of your good looks, lives like a drunken sailor on a mast, ready with every nod to tumble down into the fatal bowels of the deep.
Come, come, dispatch. 'Tis bootless to exclaim.
Oh, bloody Richard, miserable England. I prophesy the fearfullest time to thee that ever wretched age hath looked upon. Come, lead me to the block, bear him my head. They smile at me, that shortly shall be dead.
Come, cousin, canst thou quake and change thy colour? Murder thy breath in the middle of a word, and then begin again and stop again, as if thou wert distraught and mad with terror?
Sards, I can counterfeit the deep tragedian. Speak and look back, and pry on every side, tremble and start at wagging of a straw, intending deep suspicion. Ghastly looks are at my service, like enforced smiles, and both are ready in their offices at any time to grace my stratagems. But what, is Catesby gone?
He is. Go after. After cousin Buckingham, the mayor towards Guildhall hies him in all haste. There at your meetest advantage of the time and further bastardy of Edward's children. Moreover, urge his hateful luxury and bestial appetite and change of lust, which stretched to their servants, daughters, wives. Nay, for a need, thus far come near my person. Tell them, when that my mother went with child of that unsatiate Edward, noble York, my princely father, then at wars in France, and by just computation of the time, found that the issue was not his begone. But touch this sparingly, as 'twere far off, because, you know, my lord, my mother lives.
Fear not, my lord. I'll play the orator as if the golden fee for which I plead were for myself, and so, my lord, adieu.
If you thrive well, bring them to Baynard's castle, where you shall find me well accompanied with reverend fathers and well-learned bishops.
I go, and towards 3 or 4 o'clock, look for the news that the Guildhall affords.
This is the indictment of the good Lord Hastings, which in a set hand fairly is engrossed, that it may be this day read over in Paul's. And mark how well the sequel hangs together. 11 hours I spent to write it over, for yesternight by Catesby was it brought me. The precedent was full as long a-doing, and yet within these 5 hours lived Lord Hastings, untainted, unexamined, free, at liberty. Here's a good world the while. Why, who so gross that seeth not this palpable device? Yet who so blind that says he sees it not? Bad is the world, and all will come to naught, when such bad dealings must be seen in thought.
How now, my lord? What say the citizens?
Now, by the Holy Mother of our Lord, the citizens are mum, and speak not a word.
Touched you the bastardy of Edward's children?
I did, with his contract with Lady Lucy, and his contract by deputy in France. The insatiate greediness of his desires, and his enforcement of the city wives. His tyranny for trifles, his own bastardy, as being got your father then in France. His resemblance being not like the Duke, withal I did infer your lineaments being the right idea of your father, both in your form and nobleness of mind. Indeed, left nothing fitting for the purpose untouched or slightly handled in discourse. And when mine oratory grew to an end, I bid them that did love their country's good cry, God save Richard, England's royal king.
Ah, and did they so?
No, so God help me, they spake not a word.
What tongueless blocks were they? Would not they speak?
No, by my troth, my lord.
Will not the mayor then and his brethren come?
The mayor is here at hand. Intend some fear. Be not you spoke with, but by mighty suit. And look you get a prayer book in your hand, and stand betwixt 2 churchmen, good my lord, for on that ground I'll build a holy descant, and be not easily won to our request. Play the maid's part, still answer nay, and take it. Go, go, up to the leads, the Lord Mayor knocks. Ah, welcome, my lord. I dance attendance here. I think the Duke will not be spoke withal. Here comes his servant. How now, Catesby? What says he?
My lord, he doth entreat your grace to visit him tomorrow, or next day. He is within, with 2 right reverend fathers, divinely bent to meditation, and no worldly suit would he be moved to draw him from his holy exercise.
Return, good Catesby, to thy lord again. Tell him, myself, the mayor, and citizens, in deep designs and matters of great moment, no less importing than our general good, are come to have some conference with his grace.
I'll tell him what you say, my lord.
Ah, my lord, this prince is not an Edward. He is not lolling on a lewd daybed, but on his knees at meditation. Not dallying with a brace of courtesans, but meditating with 2 deep divines. Not sleeping to engross his idle body, but praying to enrich his watchful soul. Happy were England, would this gracious prince take on himself the sovereignty thereof. But sure, I fear, we shall ne'er win him to it.
Marry, God forbid his grace should say us nay.
I fear he will.
Oh, no, Catesby, what says your lord?
Oh, my lord, he wonders to what end you have assembled such troops of citizens to speak with him, his grace not being warned thereof before. My lord, he fears you mean no good to him.
Sorry I am my noble cousin should suspect me that I mean no good to him. By heaven, I come in perfect love to him. And so once more return and tell his grace.
My lord.
When holy and devout religious men are at their beads, 'tis hard to draw them thence. So sweet is zealous contemplation.
See where he stands between two clergymen.
Two props of virtue for a Christian prince to stay him from the fall of vanity. And see, a book of prayer in his hand. True ornaments to know a holy man. Famous Plantagenet, most gracious prince, lend favourable ears to our request, and pardon us the interruption of thy devotion and right Christian zeal.
My lord, there needs no such apology. I rather do beseech you pardon me, who earnest in the service of my God neglect the visitation of my friends. But leaving this, what is your grace's pleasure?
Even that, I hope, which pleaseth God above, and all good men of this ungoverned isle.
I do suspect I have done some offence that seems disgracious in the city's eyes, and that you come to reprehend my ignorance.
You have, my lord. Would it might please your grace at our entreaties to amend that fault.
Else wherefore breathe I in a Christian land?
Then no, it is your fault that you resign the supreme seat, the throne majestical, the sceptred office of your ancestors, your state of fortune and your due of birth, the lineal glory of your royal house, to the corruption of a blemished stock, which to recure we heartily solicit your gracious self to take on you the charge and kingly government of this your land, not as protector, steward, substitute or lowly factor for another's gain, but as successively from blood to blood, your right of birth, your empery, your own. For this, consulted with the citizens, your very worshipful and loving friends, and by their vehement instigation, in this just suit come I to move your grace.
I know not whether to depart in silence, or bitterly to speak in your reproof. Best fitteth my degree or your condition. Your love deserves my thanks, but my desert unmeritable shuns your high request. First, if all obstacles were cut away, and that my path were even to the crown as my right revenue and due by birth, yet so much is my poverty of spirit, so mighty and so many my defects, as I had rather hide me from my greatness. But God be thanked, there is no need of me. The royal tree hath left us royal fruit, which mellowed by the stealing hours of time will well become the seat of majesty, and make no doubt us happy by his reign. On him I lay what you would lay on me, the right and fortune of his happy stars, which God defend that I should wring from him.
My lord, this argues conscience in your grace, but the respects thereof are nice and trivial, all circumstances well considered. You say that Edward is your brother's son, so say we too, but not by Edward's wife. More bitterly could I expostulate, save that for reverence to some alive I give a sparing limit to my tongue. Then good, my lord, take to your royal self this proffered benefit of dignity, if not to bless us and the land withal, yet to draw forth your noble ancestry from the corruption of abusing times unto a lineal true derived course.
Do, good my lord, your citizens entreat you.
Refuse not, mighty lord, this proffered love.
Oh, make them joyful. Grant their lawful suit.
Alas, why would you heap these cares on me? I am unfit for state and majesty. I do beseech you, take it not amiss. I cannot, nor I will not, yield to you.
If you refuse it, as in love and zeal loath to depose the child, your brother's son, yet know, where you accept our suit or no, your brother's son shall never reign our king, but we will plant some other in the throne, to the disgrace and downfall of your house, and in this resolution here we leave you. Come, citizens, soon I'll entreat no more.
Oh, do not swear, my lord of Buckingham.
Call them again, my lord, and accept their suit.
Do, good my lord, lest all the land do rue it.
Would you enforce me to a world of care?
Well, call them again.
I am not made of stone, but penetrable to your kind entreaties, albeit against my conscience and my soul. Cousin of Buckingham, and you sage, grave men, since you will buckle fortune on my back to bear her burden whether I will or no, I must have patience to endure the load. For God, he knows, and you may partly see how far I am from the desire thereof.
God bless your grace. We see it, and will say it.
In saying so, you shall but say the truth.
Then I salute you with this kingly title. Long live Richard, England's royal king!
King Richard!
Tomorrow will it please you to be crowned?
Even when you please, since you will have it so.
Tomorrow then we will attend your grace, and so most joyfully we take our leave.
Come, let us to our holy task again. Farewell, good cousin. Farewell, gentle friends.
Us here. Why, it is my Lady Anne. Now, for my life, she's wandering to the Tower on pure heart's love to greet the tender prince's daughter well met.
God give your graces both a happy and a joyful time of day.
As much to you, good sister. Whither away?
No farther than the Tower, and, as I guess, upon the like devotion as yourselves, to gratulate the gentle princes there.
Oh, kind sister, thanks. We'll enter all together. Ah, in good time here Brackenbury comes. Master Lieutenant, pray you, by your leave, how doth the prince and my young son of York?
Right well, dear madam. By your patience, I may not suffer you to visit them. The king hath straitly charged the contrary.
The king? Why, who's that?
Oh, I cry you mercy. I mean the Lord Protect.
The Lord protect him from that kingly title. Had he set bounds betwixt their love and me? I am their mother. Who should keep me from them?
I am their father's mother. I will see them.
Their aunt, I am in law, in love, their mother. Then bring me to their sights. I'll bear thy blame and take thy office from thee on my peril.
My Lady Anne, I may not leave it so. I am bound by oath, and therefore pardon me.
Good morrow, Brackenbury.
Good morrow, good my lords.
Let me but meet you ladies 1 hour hence, and I'll salute your grace of York as mother and reverend looker on of 2 fair queens. Come, madam, you must straight to Westminster, there to be crowned Richard's royal queen.
Despiteful tidings. Oh, unpleasing news.
Cut my lace in sunder that my pent heart may have some scope to beat, or else I swoon with this dead-killing news.
Be of good cheer. Mother, how fares your grace?
Go, Dorset, speak not to me. Get thee hence. Death and destruction dog thee at the heels. Thy mother's name is ominous to children. If thou wilt outstrip death, go cross the seas and live with Richmond from the reach of hell. Go, hide thee from this slaughterhouse, lest thou increase the number of the dead, and make me die the thrall of Margaret's curse, nor mother, wife, nor England's counted queen.
Full of wise care is this your counsel, madam.
Lord Dorset, take advantage of the hours. You shall have letters from me to my son to meet you on the way and welcome you. Be not ta'en tardy by unwise delay.
O ill-dispersing wind of misery, O my accursed womb, the bed of death, a cockatrice hast thou hatched to the world, whose unavoided eye is murderous.
Come, madam, come. I in all haste was sent.
And I in all unwillingness will go. I would to God that the inclusive verge of golden metal that must round my brow were red-hot steel to sear me to the brain. Anointed let me be with deadly venom, and die ere men can say, God save the Queen.
Go, poor soul. I envy not thy glory. To feed my humour, wish thyself no harm.
No. Why? When he that is my husband now came to me, as I followed Henry's course, when scarce the blood was well washed from his hands, this was my wish. Be thou, quoth I, accursed for making me so young, so old a widow, and when thou wedst, let sorrow haunt thy bed. And be thy wife, if any be so mad, as miserable by the life of thee as thou hast made me by my dear lord's death. Lo, ere I can repeat this curse again, even in so short a space, my woman's heart grossly grew captive to his honey words, and proved the subject of my own soul's curse, which ever since hath kept my eyes from rest. For never yet 1 hour in his bed have I enjoyed the golden dew of sleep, but have been waked by his timorous dreams. Besides, he hates me for my father Warwick, and will, no doubt, shortly be rid of me.
Poor heart. And you, I pity thy complaining.
No more than from my soul I mourn for yours.
Farewell, thy woeful welcomer of glory.
Dorset, go thou to Richmond, and good fortune guide thee. Go thou to Richard, and good angels guard thee. Go thou to sanctuary, and good thoughts possess thee. I to my grave, where peace and rest lie with me. Too many years of sorrow have I seen, and each hour's joy wrecked with a week of teen.
Stay! Yet look back with me unto the tower.
Pity, you ancient stones, those tender babes, whom envy hath immured within your walls. Rough cradle for such little pretty ones. Rude, ragged nurse, old sullen playfellow for tender princes. Use my babies well. So, foolish sorrow bids your stones farewell.
Stand all apart. Cousin of Buckingham.
My gracious sovereign.
Give me thy hand.
Thus high, by thy advice and thy assistance, is King Richard seated. But shall we wear these honours for a day, or shall they last and we rejoice in them?
Still live they, and for ever may they last.
O Buckingham, now do I play the touch, to try if thou be current gold indeed. Young Edward lives. Think now what I would say.
Say on, my loving lord.
Why, Buckingham, I say I would be king.
Why, so you are, my thrice renowned liege.
Ah, am I king? 'Tis so. But Edward lives.
True, noble prince.
O bitter consequence that Edward still should live, true noble prince. Cousin, thou wert not wont to be so dull. Shall I be plain? I wish the bastards dead, and I would have it suddenly performed. What sayest thou? Speak suddenly. Be brief.
Your grace may do your pleasure.
Thou art all ice. Thy kindness freezeth. Say, have I thy consent that they shall die?
Give me some breath, some little pause, my lord, before I positively speak herein. I will resolve your grace immediately.
I will converse with iron-witted fools and unrespective boys. None are for me that look into me with considerate eyes. High-reaching Buckingham grows circumspect. Boy, my lord, knowst thou not any whom corrupting gold would tempt unto a close exploit of death?
My lord, I know a discontented gentleman whose humble means match not his haughty mind. Gold were as good as 20 orators, and will no doubt tempt him to anything.
What is his name?
His name, my lord, is Tyrrell.
I partly know the man. Go, call him hither. The deep-revolving, witty Buckingham no more shall be the neighbour to my counsel. Hath he so long held out with me untired, and stops he now for breath?
My lord.
How now, Lord Stanley? What's the news with you?
My lord, I hear the Marquis Dorsets fled to Richmond, in those parts beyond the sea where he abides.
Catesby.
My lord.
Rumour it abroad that Anne, my wife, is sick, and like to die. I will take order for her keeping close. Look how thou dream'st, I say again. Give out that Anne, my wife, is sick, and like to die. About it, for it stands me much upon to stop all hopes whose growth may damage me. I must be married to my brother's daughter, or else my kingdom stands on brittle glass. Murder her brothers, and then marry her. Uncertain way of gain, but I am in so far in blood that sin will pluck on sin. Tear-falling pity dwells not in this eye. Is thy name Tyrrell?
James Tyrrell, and your most obedient subject.
Art thou indeed?
Approve me, my gracious sovereign.
Darest thou resolve to kill a friend of mine?
Aye, my lord, but I'd rather kill 2 enemies.
Why, there thou hast it. 2 deep enemies, foes to my rest, and my sweet sleep's disturbers are they that I would have thee deal upon. Tyrrell, I mean those bastards in the tower.
Let me have open means to come to them, and soon I'll rid you from the fear of them.
Thou sing'st sweet music. Hark, come hither, Tyrrell. Go, by this token. Rise and lend thine ear. There is no more but so. Say it is done, and I will love thee, and prefer thee too.
'Tis done, my gracious lord.
Shall we hear from thee, Tyrrell, ere we sleep?
Ye shall, my lord.
My lord, I have considered in my mind the late demand that you did sound me in.
Well, let that pass. Dorset is fled to Richmond.
I hear that news, my lord.
Stanley, he is your wife's son.
My liege.
Well, look unto it.
My lord, I claim your gift. My due, by promise, for which your honour and your faith is pawned, the earldom of Hereford, and the movables the which you promised I should possess.
Stanley, look to your wife.
I will, my lord.
If she convey letters to Richmond, you shall answer it.
What says your highness to my just demand?
As I remember, Henry VI did prophesy that Richmond should be king, when Richmond was a little peevish boy. A king, perhaps.
My lord.
How chanced the prophet could not at that time have told me, I being by, that I should kill him?
My lord, your promise for the earldom...
Richmond! When last I was at Exeter, the mayor in courtesy showed me the castle and called it Rougemont, at which name I started, because a bard of Ireland told me once I should not live long after I saw Richmond.
My lord!
Aye, what's o'clock?
I am thus bold to put your grace in mind of what you promised me.
Well, but what's o'clock?
Upon the stroke of 10.
Well, let it strike.
Why let it strike?
Because that, like a jack, thou keep'st the stroke betwixt thy begging and my meditation. I am not in the giving vein today.
Why then, resolve me whether you will or no.
Thou troublest me. I am not in the vein.
Is it even so? Rewards he my true service with such deep contempt? Made I him king for this? Oh, let me think on Hastings and be gone to Brecknock while my fearful head is on.
The tyrannous and bloody act is done. The most arch deed of piteous massacre that ever yet this land was guilty of. Dighton and Forrest, whom I did suborn to do this ruthless piece of butchery, although they were fleshed villains, bloody dogs, melted with tenderness and kind compassion, wept like two children in their death-sad stories. Lo, thus, quoth Dighton, lay those tender babes. Thus, quoth Forrest, girdling one another within their innocent alabaster arms. Their lips were 4 red roses on a stalk which in their summer beauty kissed each other. A book of prayers on their pillow lay, which once, quoth Forrest, almost changed my mind, but oh, the devil! There the villain stopped whilst Dighton thus told on. We smothered the most replenished sweet work of nature that from the prime creation ere she framed. Thus both are gone. With conscience and remorse they could not speak. And so I left them both to bring these tidings to the bloody king. And here he comes. All hail, my sovereign liege.
Kind Tyrrell, am I happy in thy news?
If to have done the thing you gave in charge beget your happiness, be happy then, for it is done, my lord.
But didst thou see them dead?
I did, my lord.
And buried, gentle Tyrrell?
The chaplain of the tower hath buried them, but how or in what place, I do not know.
Come to me, Tyrrell, soon after supper, and thou shalt tell the process of their death. Meantime but think how I may do thee good, and be inheritor of thy desire. Farewell till soon. The sons of Edward sleep in Abraham's bosom, and Anne, my wife, hath bid the world good night. Now, for I know the Breton Richmond aims at young Elizabeth, my brother's daughter, and by that knot looks proudly o'er the crown, to her I go. A jolly, thriving wooer.
My lord. Good news or bad that thou comest in so bluntly?
Bad news, my lord. Ely is fled to Richmond. And Buckingham, backed with the hardy Welshman, is in the field, and still his power increaseth.
Ely with Richmond troubles me more near than Buckingham and his rash levied army. Go, muster men. My counsel is my shield. We must be brief when traitors brave the field.
Unblown flowers, new appearing sweets. If yet your gentle souls fly in the air and be not fixed in doom perpetual, hover about me with your airy wings and hear your mother's lamentation.
Hover about her, say that right for right hath dimmed your infant morn to aged night.
So many miseries have crazed my voice, that my woe-wearied tongue is still and mute. Edward Plantagenet, why art thou dead?
Plantagenet doth quit Plantagenet. Edward for Edward pays a dying debt.
Wilt thou, O God, fly from such gentle lambs and throw them in the entrails of the wolf? When didst thou sleep when such a deed was done?
When holy Harry died, and my sweet son.
Dead life, blind sight, poor mortal living ghost, woe seen, world's shame, grave's due by life usurped, brief abstract and record of tedious days. Rest thy unrest on England's lawful earth, unlawfully made drunk with innocent's blood.
Oh, who hath any cause to mourn but I?
If sorrow can admit society, tell all your woes again by viewing mine. I had an Edward till a Richard killed him. I had a Harry till a Richard killed him. Thou hadst an Edward till a Richard killed him. Thou hadst a Richard till a Richard killed him.
I had a Richard too, and thou didst kill him. I had a Rutland too, thou hopest to kill him.
Thou hadst a Clarence too, and Richard killed him. From forth the kennel of thy womb hath crept a hell-hound that doth hunt us all to death. That foul defacer of God's handiwork, that excellent grand tyrant of the earth, thy womb let loose to chase us to our graves. Oh, upright, just, and true disposing God, how do I thank thee that this carnal cur preys on the issue of his mother's body and makes her pew fellow with others' moan.
O Harry's wife, triumph not in my woes. God witness with me, I have wept for thine.
Bear with me. I am hungry for revenge, and now I cloy me with beholding it. Thy Edward, he is dead that stabbed my Edward. Thy other Edward dead to quit my Edward. Young York, he is but boot, because both they match not the high perfection of my loss. Richard yet lives. Hell's black intelligencer, only reserved their factor to buy souls and send them thither. But at hand, ensues his piteous and unpitied end. Earth gapes, hell burns, fiends roar, saints pray to have him suddenly conveyed away. Cancel his bond of life, dear God, I pray, that I may live to say the dog is dead.
Oh, thou didst prophesy the time would come that I should wish for thee to help me curse that bottled spider, that foul hunchback toad.
I called thee then, vain flourish of my fortune. I called thee then, poor shadow, painted queen, the presentation of but what I was, a queen in jest, only to fill the scene. Where is thy husband now? Where be thy brothers? Where are thy children? Wherein dost thou joy? Who sues to thee and cries, God save the Queen? Where be the bending peers that flattered thee? Where be the thronging troops that followed thee? Thus hath the course of justice wheeled about, and left thee but a very prey to time, having no more but thought of what thou wert, to torture thee the more, being what thou art. Thou didst usurp my place, and dost thou not usurp the just proportion of my sorrow? Now thy proud neck bears half my burthened yoke, from which even here I slip my weary neck, and leave the burthen of it all on thee. Farewell, York's wife, and queen of sad mischance. These English woes will make me smile in France.
Oh, thou well skilled in curses, stay a while, and teach me how to curse mine enemies.
Forbear to sleep the nights, and fast the days. Compare dead happiness with living woe. think that thy babes were fairer than they were, and he that slew them fouler than he is. Bettering thy loss makes the bad causer worse. Revolving this will teach thee how to curse.
My words are dull. Oh, quicken them with thine.
Thy woes will make them sharp and pierce like mine.
Why should calamity be full of words?
Windy attorneys to their client woes, airy recorders of intestate joys, poor breathing orators of miseries. Let them have scope, though what they do impart help not at all, yet do they ease the heart.
If so, then be not tongue-tied. Go with me. And in the breath of bitter words, let's smother my damned son, which thy two sweet sons smothered. I hear his drum be copious in exclaims.
Who intercepts me in my expedition?
Oh, she that might have intercepted thee by strangling thee in her accursed womb from all the slaughters, wretch, that thou hast done. Tell me, thou villain slave, where are my children? Thou toad, where is thy brother, Clarence? Where is kind Hastings?
A flourish!
Rivers!
Trumpets!
Thorns!
Strike alarm!
Ray!
Drums! Let not the heavens hear these telltale women rail on the Lord's anointed! Strike, I say!
Art thou my son?
Aye, I thank God, my father, and yourself.
Then patiently hear my impatience.
Madam, I have a touch of your condition which cannot brook the accent of reproof.
I will be mild and gentle in my speech.
And brief, good mother, for I am in haste.
Art thou so hasty? I have stayed for thee, God knows, in anguish, pain, and agony.
And came I not at last to comfort you?
No, by the holy rood, thou know'st it well. Thou camest on earth to make the earth my hell. A grievous burthen was thy birth to me. Tetchy and wayward was thy infancy. Thy school days frightful, desperate, wild, and furious. Thy prime of manhood, daring, bold, and venturous. Thy age confirmed, proud, subtle, sly, and bloody, more mild, but yet more harmful, kind in hatred. What comfortable hour canst thou name that ever graced me in thy company?
If I be so disgracious in your sight, let me march on and not offend your grace.
Strike the drum!
I prithee, hear me speak.
You speak too bitterly.
Hear me a word, for I shall never speak to thee again.
So?
Either thou wilt die by God's just ordinance, ere from this war thou turn a conqueror, or I, with grief and extreme age, shall perish and never look upon thy face again. Therefore take with thee my most heavy curse, which in the day of battle tire thee more than all the complete armour that thou wearest. My prayers on the adverse party fight, and there the little souls of Edward's children whisper the spirits of thine enemies, and promise them success and victory. Bloody thou art, bloody will be thy end. Shame serves thy life, and doth thy death attend.
Though far more cause, yet much less spirit to curse abides in me. I say amen to all.
Stay, madam. I must speak a word with you.
I have no more sons of the royal blood for thee to murder. For my daughters, Richard, they shall be praying nuns, not weeping queens, and therefore level not to hit their lives.
You have a daughter called Elizabeth, virtuous and fair, royal and gracious.
And must she die for this? Oh, let her live, and I'll corrupt her manners, stain her beauty, slander myself as false to Edward's bed,
Throw over her the veil of infamy, so she may live unscarred of bleeding slaughter. I will confess she was not Edward's daughter.
From not her birth. She is of royal blood.
To save her life, I'll say she is not so.
Her life is safest only in her birth.
And only in that safety died her brothers.
You speak as if that I had slain my cousins.
Cousins, indeed, and by their uncle cozened, of comfort, kingdom, kindred, freedom, life. Whose hand soever lanced their tender hearts, thy head all indirectly gave direction. No doubt the murderous knife was dull and blunt till it was whetted on thy stone-hard heart to revel in the entrails of my lambs. But that still use of grief makes wild grief tame. My tongue should to thy ears not name my boys till that my nails were anchored in thine eyes. And I, in such a desperate bay of death, like a poor bark of sails and tackling reft, rush all to pieces on thy rocky bosom.
Madam, so thrive I in my enterprise and dangerous success of bloody wars, as I intend more good to you and yours than ever you or yours were by me wronged.
What good is covered with the face of heaven to be discovered that can do me good?
Even all I have, yea, and myself and all will I withal endow a child of thine. So in the lethe of thy angry soul, thou drown the sad remembrance of those wrongs which thou supposest I have done to thee.
Be brief, lest that the process of thy kindness last longer telling than thy kindness date.
Then know that from my soul I love thy daughter and mean to make her Queen of England.
Say then, who dost thou mean shall be her king?
Even he that makes her queen, who else should be?
What, thou?
Aye, even I. What think you of it, madam?
How canst thou woo her?
That I would learn of you as one being best acquainted with her humour.
And wilt thou learn of me?
Madam, with all my heart.
Send to her, by the man that slew her brothers, a pair of bleeding hearts. Thereon engrave Edward and York. Then haply she will weep. Therefore present to her, as sometime Margaret did to thy father, steeped in Rutland's blood, a handkerchief, which, say to her, did drain the purple sap from her sweet brother's body, and bid her dry her weeping eyes therewith. If this inducement force her not to love, send her a story of thy noble acts. Tell her thou madest away her uncle Clarence, her uncle Rivers, yea, and for her sake madest quick conveyance with her good Aunt Anne.
Come, come, you mock me. This is not the way to win your daughter.
There is no other way, unless thou couldst put on some other shape, and not be Richard that hath done all this.
Say that I did all this for love of her.
Nay, then indeed she cannot choose but hate thee, having bought love with such a bloody spoil.
Look, what is done cannot be now amended. Men shall deal unadvisedly sometimes, which after hours gives leisure to repent. If I did take the kingdom from your sons to make amends, I'll give it to your daughter. If I have killed the issue of your womb, to quicken your increase, I will beget mine issue of your blood upon your daughter. Your children were vexation to your youth, but mine shall be a comfort to your age. The loss you have is but a son being king, and by that loss your daughter is made queen. I cannot make you what amends I would, therefore accept such kindness as I can. Go then, my mother. To thy daughter go. Make bold her bashful years with your experience. Prepare her ears to hear a wooer's tale. Put in her tender heart the aspiring flame of golden sovereignty. Acquaint the princess with the sweet silent hours of marriage joys. And when this arm of mine hath chastised the petty rebel, dull-brained Buckingham, bound with triumphant garlands will I come and lead thy daughter to a conqueror's bed.
What were I best to say? Her father's brother would be her lord, or shall I say her uncle, or he that slew her brothers and her uncles? Under what title shall I woo for thee? that God, the law, my honour, and her love can make seem pleasing to her tender years?
Infer fair England's peace by this alliance.
Which he shall purchase with still lasting war.
Say that the king which may command entreats.
That at her hands which the king's king forbids.
Say I will love her everlastingly.
But how long shall that title ever last?
But sweetly enforce unto her fair life's end.
But how long fairly shall her sweet life last?
So long as heaven and nature lengthens it.
So long as hell and Richard likes of it.
Your reasons are too shallow and too quick.
Oh no, my reasons are too deep and dead. Too deep and dead, poor infants in their grave.
Harp not on that string, madam, that is past.
Harp on it still shall I, till heartstrings break.
Now, by my George, my garter, and my crown.
Profaned, dishonoured, and the third usurped.
I swear...
By nothing, for this is no oath. Swear, then, by something that thou hast not wronged.
Now by the world
I... of thy foul wrongs.
My father's death
Thy life hath that dishonoured.
Then by myself...
Thyself misusing.
Why then by God
God's wrong is most of all. If thou hadst feared to break an oath by him, the unity the king thy brother made hath not been broken, nor my brother slain.
As I intend to prosper and repent, so thrive I in my dangerous attempt of hostile arms, myself confound. Heaven and fortune bar me happy hours. Day, yield me not thy light, nor night thy rest. Be opposite all planets of good luck to my proceedings, if with pure heart's love, immaculate devotion, holy thoughts, I tender not thy beauteous, princely daughter. In her consists my happiness and thine. Without her follows to this land and me, to thee, herself, and many a Christian soul, death, desolation, ruin, and decay. It cannot be avoided but by this. It will not be avoided but by this. Therefore, good mother, I must call you so. Be the attorney of my love to her. Plead what I will be, not what I have been. Not my deserts, but what I will deserve. Urge the necessity and state of times, and be not peevish fond in great designs.
Shall I be tempted of the devil thus?
Aye, if the devil tempt thee to do good.
Shall I forget myself? To be myself.
Aye, if yourself's remembrance wrong yourself.
But thou didst kill my children.
But in your daughter's womb I bury them, where in that nest of spicery they shall breed selves of themselves to your recomfiture.
Shall I go win my daughter to thy will?
And be a happy mother by the deed.
I go. Write to me very shortly, and you shall understand from me her mind.
Bear her my true love's kiss. And so farewell. Relenting fool and shallow, changing woman.
How now, what news?
My gracious sovereign, on the western coast rideth a puissant navy. To the shore throng many doubtful, hollow-hearted friends, unarmed and unresolved to beat them back. 'Tis thought that Richmond is their admiral, and there they hull, expecting but the aid of Buckingham to welcome them ashore.
Some Lightfoot friend post to the Duke of Norfolk. Ratcliffe thyself, or Catesby, where is he?
Here, my lord.
Fly to the Duke. Post thou to Salisbury, when thou comest thither.
My lord.
Thou unmindful villain, why standest thou still and goest not to the Duke?
First, mighty sovereign, let me know your mind. What from your grace I shall deliver to him.
True, good Catesby. Bid him levy straight the greatest strength and power he can make, and meet me presently at Salisbury.
I go.
What is your highness pleasure I should do at Salisbury?
Why? What wouldst thou do there before I go?
Your highness told me I should post before.
My mind is changed, sir. My mind is changed. Stanley, what news with you?
None good, my lord, to please you with the hearing, nor none so bad, but it may well be told.
Hoy day, a riddle!
Neither good nor bad. Why dost thou run so many mile about, when thou mayst tell thy tale a nearer way? Once more, what news?
Richmond is on the seas.
There let him sink, and be the seas on him. White-livered renegade, what doth he there?
I know not, mighty sovereign, but by guess.
Well, sir, as you guess, as you guess.
Stirred up by Dorset, Buckingham, and Ely, he makes for England, here to claim the crown.
Is the chair empty? Is the sword unswayed? Is the king dead? The empire unpossessed? What heir of York is there alive but we? And who is England's king but great York's heir? Then tell me, what doth he upon the sea?
Unless for that, my liege, I cannot guess.
Unless for that he comes to be your liege, you cannot guess wherefore the Welshman comes. Thou wilt revolt and fly to him, I fear.
No, mighty liege, therefore mistrust me not.
Where is thy power, then, to beat him back? Where are thy tenants and thy followers? Are they not now upon the western shore, safe conducting the rebels from their ships?
No, my good lord, my friends are in the north.
Cold friends to Richard. What do they in the north when they should serve their sovereign in the west?
They have not been commanded, mighty sovereign. Please it your majesty to give me leave. I'll muster up my friends and meet your grace where and what time your majesty shall please.
Aye, thou wouldst be gone to join with Richmond. I will not trust you, sir.
Most mighty sovereign, you have no cause to hold my friendship doubtful. I never was nor never will be false.
Well, go muster men. But hear you, leave behind your son George Stanley. Look your faith be firm, or else his head's assurance is but frail.
So deal with him, as I prove true to you.
My gracious sovereign, now in Devonshire, as I by friends am well advertised, Sir Edward Courtenay and the haughty prelate Bishop of Exeter, his brother there, with many more confederates, are in arms.
My liege, in Kent the Guildfords are in arms, and every hour more competitors flock to their aid, and still their power increases.
My lord, the army of the Duke of
Out on you owls! Nothing but songs of death! Take that! Until thou bring me better news!
The news I have to tell your majesty is that by sudden floods and fall of waters, Buckingham's army is dispersed and scattered, and he himself wandered away alone. No man knows whither.
I cry thee mercy. There is my purse to cure that blow of thine. Hath any well-advised friend proclaimed reward to him that brings the traitor in?
Such proclamation hath been made, my liege.
My liege, the Duke of Buckingham is taken. That is the best news. That the Earl of Richmond is with a mighty power landed at Milford is colder tidings, yet they must be told.
Away towards Salisbury, while we reason here, a royal battle might be won and lost. Someone take order Buckingham be brought to Salisbury. The rest march on with me.
My lord of Buckingham, prepare, 'tis time.
Will not King Richard let me speak with him?
No, my good lord. Therefore be patient.
Hastings and Edward's children. Rivers, Grey, holy King Henry, and thy fair son Edward. Vaughan, and all that have miscarried by underhand, corrupted, foul injustice, if that your moody, discontented souls do through the clouds behold this present hour, even for revenge mock my destruction. This is All Souls' Day, fellow, is it not?
It is, my lord.
Why then, All Souls' Day is my body's doomsday. This is the day that in King Edward's time I wished might fall on me when I was found false to his children or his wife's allies. This is the day wherein I wish to fall by the false faith of him I trusted most. This All Souls' Day to my fearful soul is the determined respite of my wrongs. That high all-seer that I dallied with hath turned my feigned prayer on my head, and given in earnest what I begged in jest. Thus doth he force the swords of wicked men to turn their own points in their masters' bosoms. Now Margaret's curse is fallen upon my head. When he, quoth she, shall split thy heart with sorrow, remember Margaret was a prophetess. Come, sir, convey me to the block of shame. Wrong hath but wrong, and blame the due of blame.
Fellows in arms and my most loving friends, bruised underneath the yoke of tyranny. Thus far into the bowels of the land have we marched on without impediment. And here receive we from our father Stanley lines of fair comfort and encouragement. The wretched, bloody and usurping boar that spoiled your summer fields and fruitful vines, swills your warm blood like wash and makes his trough in your emboweled bosoms, this foul swine lies now even in the centre of this isle, near to the town of Leicester, as we learn. From Tamworth thither is but 1 day's march. In God's name, cheerly on, courageous friends, to reap the harvest of perpetual peace by this one bloody trial of sharp war.
Every man's conscience is 1,000 swords to fight against that bloody homicide.
Aye.
I doubt not but his friends will fly to us.
He hath no friends, but who are friends for fear, which in his greatest need will shrink from him.
All for our vantage. Then in God's name, march! True hope is swift and flies with swallows' wings. Kings it makes gods, and meaner creatures kings.
Here, pitch our tents. Even here in Bosworth Field. My Lord of Surrey, why look you so sad?
My heart is 10 times lighter than my looks.
My Lord of Norfolk.
Here, most gracious liege.
Norfolk, we must have knocks, huh? Must we not?
We must both give and take, my gracious lord.
Up with my tent there. Here will I lie tonight. But where tomorrow? All's one for that. Who hath decried the number of the foe?
6,000 or 7,000 is their utmost power.
Why, our battalion trebles that account. Besides, the king's name is a tower of strength which they upon the adverse party want. Up with my tent there. Valiant gentlemen, let us survey the vantage of the field. Call for some men of sound direction. Let's want no discipline, make no delay. For lords, tomorrow is a busy day.
My Lord of Oxford, you, Sir William Brandon, and you, Sir Walter Herbert, stay with me. Where is Lord Stanley quartered, do you know?
Unless I have mistaken his colours much, which well I am assured I have not done. His regiment lies half a mile at least south from the mighty power of the king.
If without peril it be possible, good Captain Blunt, bear my good night to him, and give him from me this most needful scroll.
Upon my life, my lord, I'll undertake it. And so, God give you quiet rest tonight.
Good night, good Captain Blunt. Come, gentlemen, let us consult upon tomorrow's business. Into our tent. The air is raw and cold.
What is the clock?
It's supper time, my lord. It's 9 o'clock.
I will not sup tonight. Give me some ink and paper. What, is my beaver easier than it was? And all my armour laid into my tent?
It is, my liege, and all things are in readiness.
Good Norfolk, hie thee to thy charge. Use careful watch. Choose trusty sentinels.
I go, my lord.
Stir with the lark tomorrow, gentle Norfolk.
I warrant you, my lord.
Catesby.
My lord.
Send out a pursuivant at arms to Stanley's regiment. Bid him bring his power before sunrising, lest his son George fall into the blind cave of eternal night.
My lord.
Fill me a bowl of wine. Give me a watch. Saddle white Surrey for the field tomorrow. Look that my staves be sound and not too heavy. Ratcliffe.
My lord?
Saw'st thou the melancholy Lord Northumberland?
Thomas the Earl of Surrey and himself, much about cockshut time, from troop to troop went through the army cheering up the soldiers.
So, I am satisfied. Give me a bowl of wine. I have not that alacrity of spirit nor cheer of mind that I was wont to have. Set it down. Is ink and paper ready?
It is, my lord.
Bid my guard watch. Leave me. Ratcliffe, about the mid of night come to my tent and help to arm me. Leave me, I say.
Fortune and victory sit on thy helm.
All comfort that the dark night can afford be to thy person, noble father-in-law. Tell me, how fares our loving mother?
I, by attorney, bless thee from thy mother, who prays continually for Richmond's good. So much for that. The silent hours steal on, and flaky darkness breaks within the east. In brief, for so the season bids us be, prepare thy battle early in the morning. I, as I may, that which I would I cannot, with best advantage will deceive the time, and aid thee in this doubtful shock of arms. But on thy side I may not be too forward, lest being seen thy brother, tender George, be executed in his father's sight.
Oh,
farewell. The leisure and the fearful time cuts off the ceremonious vows of love which so long sundered friends should dwell upon. Once more, adieu. Be valiant, and speed well.
Good lords, conduct him to his regiment.
My lord.
I'll strive with troubled thoughts to take a nap, lest leaden slumber pays me down tomorrow when I should mount with wings of victory.
My lord.
Once more, good night, kind lords and gentlemen.
Good night, my lord.
O thou whose captain I account myself, look on my forces with a gracious eye. Put in their hands thy bruising irons of wrath, that they may crush down with a heavy fall the usurping helmets of our adversaries. Make us thy ministers of chastisement, that we may praise thee in the victory. To thee I do commend my watchful soul, ere I let fall the windows of mine eyes. Sleeping and waking, oh, defend me still.
Sleep, Richmond, sleep in peace and wake in joy. Good angels guard thee from the boar's annoy. Live and beget a happy race of kings. Edward's unhappy sons bid thee flourish.
Thou offspring of the house of Lancaster, the wronged heirs of York, to pray for thee. Good angels guard thy battle. Live and flourish.
Richard.
Let me sit heavy on thy soul tomorrow. I that was washed to death with fulsome wine, poor Clarence, by thy guile betrayed to death. Tomorrow in the battle think on me, and fall thy edgeless sword, despair and die.
Let me sit heavy on thy soul tomorrow. Rivers that died at Pomfret, despair and die upon graves, and let thy soul despair. Bloody and guiltily awake, and in a bloody battle end thy days. Think on Lord Hastings, despair and die.
Dream
Give me another horse. Bind up my wounds. Have mercy, Jesus. Soft. I did but dream. O coward conscience, how dost thou afflict me? The lights burn blue. It is now dead midnight. Cold, fearful drops stand on my trembling flesh. What do I fear? Myself? There's none else by. Richard loves Richard. That is, I am I. Is there a murderer here? No. Yes, I am. Then fly. What, from myself? Great reason why. Lest I revenge. What, myself upon myself? Alack, I love myself. Wherefore? For any good that I myself have done unto myself. Oh, no. Alas, I rather hate myself for hateful deeds committed by myself. I am a villain. Yet I lie. I am not. Fool, of thyself speak well. Fool, do not flatter. My conscience hath 1,000 several tongues, and every tongue brings in a several tale, and every tale condemns me for a villain. Perjury, perjury in the highest degree, murder, stern murder in the direst degree. All several sins, all used in each degree, throng to the bar, crying all, guilty, guilty. I shall despair. There is no creature loves me. And if I die, no soul shall pity me. Nay, wherefore should they, since that I myself find in myself no pity to myself?
My lord.
Zounds! Who is there?
Ratcliffe, my lord. 'Tis I. The early village cock hath twice done salutation to the morn. Your friends are up and buckle on their armour.
Oh, Ratcliffe, I have dreamed a fearful dream. Methought the souls of all that I had murdered came to my tent, and every one did threat tomorrow's vengeance on the head of Richard. What thinkest thou? Will our friends prove all true?
Oh, no doubt, my lord.
Oh, Ratcliffe, I fear. I fear.
Nay, good my lord. Be not afraid of shadows.
By the Apostle Paul, shadows tonight have struck more terror to the soul of Richard than can the substance of 10,000 soldiers armed in proof and led by shallow Richmond. It is not yet near day.
Come. Go with me. Under our tents I'll play the eavesdropper, to see if any mean to shrink from me.
Good morrow, Richmond.
Cry mercy, lords and watchful gentlemen, that you have ta'en a tardy sluggard here.
How have you slept, my lord?
The sweetest sleep and fairest boding dreams that ever entered in a drowsy head have I since your departure had, my lords. Methought their souls, whose bodies Richard murdered, came to my tent and cried on victory. I promise you, my soul is very jocund in the remembrance of so fair a dream. But how far into the morning is it, lords?
Upon the stroke of 4.
Why, then 'tis time to arm and give direction. More than I have said, loving countrymen, the leisure and enforcement of the time forbids to dwell upon. Yet remember this, God and our good cause fight upon our side. Richard except, those whom we fight against had rather have us win than him they follow. For what is he they follow? Truly, gentlemen, a bloody tyrant and a homicide. One raised in blood and one in blood established. One that made means to come by what he hath, and slaughtered those that were the means to help him. A base, foul stone made precious by the foil of England's chair, where he is falsely set. One that hath ever been God's enemy. Then, if you fight against God's enemy, God will in justice ward you as his soldiers. If you do sweat to put a tyrant down, you sleep in peace, the tyrant being slain. If you do fight against your country's foes, your country's fat shall pay your pains the higher. Then, in the name of God and all these rights, advance your standards, draw your willing swords. For me, the ransom of my bold attempt shall be this cold corpse on the earth's cold face. But if I thrive, the gain of my attempt, the least of you shall share his part thereof. Sound drums and trumpets boldly and cheerfully. God and St. George, Richmond and victory!
What shall I say more than I have inferred? Remember whom you are to cope withal. A sort of vagabonds, rascals and runaways. A scum of Bretons and base lackey peasants whom their o'er-cloyed country vomits forth to desperate ventures and assured destruction. And who doth lead them but a paltry fellow, long kept in Bretagne at our mother's cost? A milksop, one that never in his life felt so much cold as over shoes in snow. Let's whip these stragglers o'er the seas again. Lash hence these overweening rags of France. If we be conquered, let men conquer us, and not these bastard Bretons, whom our fathers have in their own land beaten, bobbed, and thumped, and in record left them the heirs of shame. Shall these enjoy our lands? Lie with our wives? Ravish our daughters? Hark! I hear their drum. Fight, gentlemen of England. Fight, bold yeomen. Draw, archers. Draw your arrows to the head. Spur your proud horses hard and ride in blood. Amaze the welkin with your broken staves!
My Lord of Norfolk! Rescue! Rescue! The king enacts more wonders than a man, daring and opposite to every danger. His horse is slain, and all on foot he fights, seeking for Richmond in the throes of death. Rescue, fair lord, or else the day is lost. Withdraw, my lord! Withdraw! I'll help you to a horse! Slave! I have set my life upon a cast, and I will stand the hazard of the die! I think there be 6 Richmonds in the field. 5 have I slain today instead of him! A horse! A horse! My kingdom for a horse.
God and your arms be praised, victorious friends. The day is ours. The bloody dog is dead.
Courageous Richmond, well hast thou acquit thee. Lo, here, this long usurped royalty from the dead temples of this bloody wretch have I plucked off to grace thy brows withal. Wear it, enjoy it, and make much of it.
Great God of heaven, say amen to all. But tell me, is young George Stanley living?
He is, my lord.
Proclaim a pardon to the soldiers fled, that in submission will return to us. And then, as we have ta'en the sacrament, we will unite the white rose and the red. Smile, heaven, upon this fair conjunction that long hath frowned upon their enmity. What traitor hears me and says not amen? England hath long been mad and scarred herself. The brother blindly shed the brother's blood. The father rashly slaughtered his own son. The son compelled, been butcher to the sire. All this divided York and Lancaster. Oh, now let Richmond and Elizabeth, the true succeeders of each royal house, by God's fair ordinance conjoin together. And let their heirs, God, if thy will be so, enrich the time to come with smooth-faced peace, with smiling plenty and fair prosperous days. Abate the edge of traitors, gracious Lord, that would reduce these bloody days again and make poor England weep in streams of blood. Let them not live to taste this land's increase that would, with treason, wound this fair land's peace. Now, civil wounds are stopped. Peace lives again. That she may long live here. God say amen.
In The Tragedy of King Richard III by William Shakespeare, Douglas Henshall played Richard, Ben Miles Buckingham, and Geoffrey Stretfield Richmond. Jasmine Hyde was Lady Anne, Anastasia Hilly Queen Elizabeth, Geraldine James the Duchess of York, and Barbara Jefford Margaret. Michael Maloney played Clarence, Mark Bazley Edward, Paul Bentle Hastings, and John Rowe Lord Stanley. The murderers were Stephen Critchlow and Jonathan Keeble, and Tyrrell Ewan Bailey. Dorset was played by Stuart Bunce, Grey by Chris Moran, and Lovell Damien Lynch. Rory Copus was the young Duke of York, and Alex Green young Prince Edward. The citizens were played by Rachel Atkins, Cherie Taylor-Baptiste and Frances Jeater. Ioan Meredith was the Lord Mayor, Gerard MacDermott Brackenbury, Peter Marinka the Cardinal, and Declan Wilson Ratcliffe. Original music was composed and realised by David Pickvance. The Tragedy of King Richard III was produced and directed by Mark Beebe for BBC Radio 3.